good best friends. Some people say we have a problem, but every night I'm making new best friends, and the only problem is we like having a good time.
Hello. Love wrestling. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. You know what that means.
What does that mean, JPJ?
It's another episode of Between Two Beards.
It's officially March
Pluggo.
Madness. March
It is, and madness happened already. Our friend Jeff Hawkins. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Right. Can anybody do a wellness check on Jeff Hawkins?
I've seen him on the Twitter, obviously distraught.
He's feeling it, but we love you, Jeff.
I don't want to say anything, but I picked that upset. But I did.
This is the first year I didn't fill out a bracket.
I didn't fill out like a real one. Like I'm not in a pool. I didn't go to ESPN. Like I filled one out for like shits and giggles, as the people say. But I didn't really do one. But I did pick that upset. Although I got hosed on Charleston. That referee should be excommunicated from college basketball. Anyway, I digress. Pluggo, how the hell are we doing, man? It's good.
We're good, man. We've had a week here at Love Wrestling, especially
We've had a damn week.
Realm.
Oh, we got our buddy popping in.
Swags.
Always good to see you, friend. We're gonna be talking some Stone Cold Steve Austin tonight. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin day. We got Josh Robinson in the chat.
Josh.
I was just on Josh's stream for a little bit playing.
You lucky guy.
I know.
Josh is so cool.
Josh is he's become a very good friend of mine. I love that guy.
Hey Josh, hit me up, man. I can chitter chatter too.
Yeah.
I love Josh. But you should go over to Josh's Twitch channel because he did just get the 2K23 WWE.
Yeah, he went to Sydney.
He went to Sydney. He got to
go to Sydney. He met some other cool streamers. They got to play the game early. Like, man, that's amazing. But
basically, if you don't know Josh Robinson, that's a you problem. You should go follow him, figure it out.
Josh Robinson used to have a weekly segment on this show called Unhinged. I would love to bring that back at some point.
He's allowed anytime he wants.
Just saying. Yeah. But he used to have a weekly segment on this show, and he was obviously a multi-time guest, obviously. But he used to have a weekly segment, Unhinged.
Unhinged. I miss Unhinged.
This is true. Regular Beards guest, Josh Robinson.
I don't even know if you can count it as a guest if you have a weekly segment. I think you're a weekly
yes, he was a contributor. Like he was a member of the show at one point.
Yeah. Between Two Beards with Josh Robinson. That's what we should have dubbed it. But I was gonna say his chat was a little unhinged while I was in there.
I don't think we're gonna bring that over here. But
why not? I am super.
I'm ready. I'll do it.
By your answers,
I'm not.
Maybe we'll save that for the end of the show.
Yeah, let's.
JPJ may or may not have disclosed some information about himself.
I was stung by a jellyfish. That's all.
But if you like
stung by a jellyfish,
I've not been stung by a jellyfish.
Well, do you know what the cure? Yes. Not the cure, but like one of the cures of being stung by a jellyfish is you need to get pissed on.
Yeah, you remember that episode of Friends when like Monica, Chandler, and Joey were all out at the tea? Monica steps on the jellyfish, gets weird. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I answered the question honestly.
You implied it was other. Anyway. We've had a weird week. Josh is in the house. He got us sidetracked as he always does. Anytime Josh is in the house, we get weird.
I love it.
For those that watched last week, what the fuck happened?
We still because we haven't found the culprit.
Yeah, Spencer has surprisingly been quiet on the situation. We were on the phone with Bob and IT every day this week, trying to figure out how we got breached. Let's hope tonight's show goes off without a RADz interference. I never thought I'd see the day that T.Y. Jackson would make his Beards debut and tell me he hates me. I'm still not over it. I've been sad all week. T.Y. do better, get better. That's all I'm going to say on that. So let's hope we have a clean, fun, smooth show tonight.
I hope so. I hope so. It should be. It should be. It's 3/16 day. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin day.
And also, before we get into that.
Oh, we'll talk about that. Talk about that.
Oh, yes.
Yep. We'll be seeing her on some
we're going to be dropping some exclusive Love Pro Wrestling news today.
We are.
So be here.
We are. There's some stuff that's going down. We are doing that.
Yeah. Where do you want to start, brother man?
We got a lot. I mean, we got a lot to start. I thought
A week of good. It was a week of some bad. I mean, it was a week.
What was the bad? What do you think was the bad?
Did you not watch NXT this week?
No.
It was awful. I watched it.
Really? I mean,
they broke up.
Like I'm surprised.
They have 3 women's tag teams, and
they broke up another one, right?
They broke up the champs.
Are they still the champs?
Then they broke up Ivy Nile and whoever she was with. But then, like, the worst part about it was the Gargano Grayson Waller segment while he's at the house.
Oh, they went to the house and they showed the kid. I did see that. The kid got on.
And Candice is like, leave my husband alone. Candice LeRae would beat the brakes off of Grayson Waller in a real life situation.
She would ruin him.
It
wouldn't even be competition.
I've been with the way that the home life, the shoot life has been going. I've had a little bit more of a window to watch like almost the full NXT shows lately. And so I've been keeping up. And this last week was just not, it just wasn't great. It just did not hit for me. So that was really all I had that was like bad throughout the week. I thought Dynamite ruled yesterday.
Dynamite did rule.
Did absolutely rule. Raw wasn't terrible. I thought it was a solid show.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, we can start wherever you want. You the boss.
I'm the boss. Ooh,
sure.
I like being the boss.
I'm not allowed to touch anything.
No, you're not. That is true. That is a true statement has never been said, Pluggo. A true statement has never been said. I start touching
stuff, all hell breaks loose. Every time I try to do anything, we get yelled at.
We got Dustin saying at this point, have the WWE Women's Championship be defended on NXT as well? That's originally what I thought they were supposed to do.
That was the other thing. Okay, yeah, so we'll talk about Dustin's comment. Yeah, they should eliminate the NXT Tag Team Champion, Women's Tag Team Champions altogether and make it across 3 brands. They don't have enough teams across all 3 brands to have 2 belts. It just doesn't add up. It's not good. Yeah, don't touch the controls, Pluggo.
Don't touch the controls.
You're right, boss. I'm going to try not to today. But you need to pick up your damn phone and tell us what the hell happened last week. I'm still not over.
I thought you said we were over.
I know. I'm sorry.
Is that what you just said?
I don't even know what I say all the time. I just say things.
I know. We've been doing 94 of these things.
94,
I know. I know that fact. I very well know that fact.
But yes, to Dustin's point, I think that's been hammered home. Like, there's not enough tag teams in NXT to care.
There's not enough tag teams on the main roster,
right?
You know what I mean?
It would work. It would be awesome, right? You could take the NXT tag team champions, let's say, and then have them go to SmackDown for a one-off with a tag team, or go to Raw. That gives them some main roster exposure as well as keeps those titles relevant. You could bring down a Becky Lynch and Alita to NXT for a one-off with, whoever you want. That would be great, but they're never going to do that. I don't understand that. And then I did gloss over because I was still fired up, but I'm going to focus in because I was very adamant. Also, the Roxanne Perez stuff. What the hell is that?
Okay. Now,
explain that to me if you know.
They did the Shawn Mike. They did the I'm passing out after the hard work match. Okay, I got that. Fine. Did they strip her of the title?
They didn't strip her of the title.
So is she going to be in the ladder match then?
They didn't say that either. They said they're not sure what's wrong with her, so we can't wait any longer. We're going to do an NXT ladder match for the women's title, and I think she'll ultimately get the spot. But that was just so.
And then she'll win it. She'll keep it, right?
She'll keep it. She won't keep it. Are you calling her up? Like, he went on air and just read tweets that he tweeted. I loved our friend Joe Pearl saying, like, the reason he read those tweets verbatim on the NXT show is because he blocked everyone on Twitter.
That's fantastic.
So they just got a bunch of wonky stuff going on in NXT right now. So that was the bad, but we're not here to talk about it. Let's talk about the good. And if you're in the chat, you're here with us while JPJ curates that thought, why don't you guys curate some thoughts of your own and let us know what you want to talk about?
Well, I kind of wanted to talk about I want to talk about Raw. I want to talk about Raw in general, which I thought Raw was pretty solid. I just want to talk about WWE a little bit. We're only a few weeks away from Mania.
It doesn't feel like it.
No. Right? We have 2 more Raws? That's it, right?
3. And we have 3. Half a card.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But I feel like the stories, they're not. Oh,
there he is.
There he is.
Hoggo,
is, the
JPJ.
man.
How are you, Hogslinger Legends? This is
The
Rick.
man,
I'm doing well. And
Big
by the way,
Ben.
Ben, your message this morning, I meant to tell you I got super sidetracked at work. Meant a lot to me, brother. I appreciate you so much. Oh, what the? He's not
I
a
didn't tell you about
rad.
this. I didn't tell you about this.
You
This
didn't
was me.
tell-
I'll
What?
admit that I was the culprit that did this.
He's not going to yell at me, is he, and tell me
No,
he hates
it's
me
not going to be
and
like
stay
last
in
week
my
where we get
country.
verbally assaulted. No, I think this will be friendly. Who knows, though?
We should
This person
tweet this.
has been known to occasionally be unhinged. You know?
It's me.
Josh Robinson.
It's
Hi,
me.
Big Ben, we love you too, brother.
What brings you to this neck of the woods, my friend?
JPJ, definitely not for you, Pluggo.
Although I shouldn't be sad, that's par for the course. Every pop-in we have, they're like, I'm here for
Pluggo,
JPJ.
you know I love
No
you
one
too.
likes Pluggo. It's fine.
Pluggo,
I named myself a bit of a bitch because that's what I feel today. I'm a bit of a bitch. Would you like to talk about piss?
Yes, please.
Nobody's gonna get that. Nobody's gonna get that. Oh, you had to be on Josh's channel a little earlier.
The
What I did want to talk about,
all
though,
I said was, let's get weird, and the piss talk started.
it's true.
I made sure I timed this to when you were done talking about NXT.
Yeah, no, you did. But I wanted to talk about WWE. That's what I wanted to start
Okay.
with.
I
to
don't
be
know
honest
where
with
you wanted to start. You don't have to answer this. You guys, now we have Josh on. You don't have to answer this. You could think about it for a hot second, but I was thinking about it. Outside of the Cody Roman bloodline stuff,
Yes.
what's the next hottest angle going? Like, what's
You're
number two?
including the Sami Zayn and KO. Like, you're including
that
Sami
whole,
and
I'm
KO
kind
in
of including that
thing.
whole thing. Like, if you go,
You mean
which
what's
is- which
next
is
or what
great.
is the hottest, like, right now?
Like if you go bloodline, KO, Sammy, Cody, Roman, who's got the most juice in their storyline for number 3? It's kind of been like,
Well, that's what I kind of wanted to talk about because I feel like we have 2 Raws left till Mania, right? And
Really?
is that
That's
it,
it?
right? Wait, it's
Wow,
6
okay.
days.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah,
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so we have 2 Raws.
And we have a big guest for the Raw preview on this.
We do.
Stay tuned.
But we have 2 Raws left till Mania, and I feel like Asuka and Bianca, which is a match I am very much looking forward to. But I feel like they did the same thing for like the 2 straight weeks where they just kind of come out like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, and it's not the only feud, but I feel like a few of the feuds, like how many weeks is it going to take for Rey Mysterio to fucking hit Dominic in the face?
I think that's really good because you want it so bad. And if it happened 3 weeks ago, everyone would be like, I'm so over this feud. Just get to the match.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he does it, it's gonna be.
Oh my god, that place is
it's gonna be a moment. And
Yeah.
I would assume that Mania's like gonna be Rey's last match, which is fitting.
I would agree.
I mean, it's fitting going against his son and all that. And I'm a pro Dom.
I love Dom.
I
love
think
Dom.
he's amazing.
But like every
Do you
time
guys
Rey's
think
up,
Dom
like, hit him, will you?
Do you think Dom crashes his Hall of Fame speech? I think
Yes.
that would just be
1000%.
amazing.
Absolutely.
I think maybe that's the thing that does it.
Because
If
I don't
you
think
think
that's
about it.
ever happened. Like
No, so like, what if he tries for the next 2 weeks and Rey's like, dude, it's not happening.
Not happening.
And then he's doing his speech and Dom, whatever, and ruins the speech. And maybe that's the thing that Rey's like, I'm fighting you tomorrow night or whatever, maybe.
And Ophelia, no, we're not going to talk about real wrestling today. We don't do that on this channel. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, friend. Hi, Ophelia. How are you?
And yeah, because
But that's
like
the,
being in prison like that.
but he won't.
Yeah.
But that's the crazy. They I will say this. What's up, HCW Sports, my guys? They're coming back end of April. I'm excited for that.
Let's go.
I'm going. But that's the thing. They do play this up like Dom is like a 15-year-old kid. He's a grown man. It's not child abuse if you beat a grown man.
Yeah, he's a grown. He's a
it's
grown.
just regular abuse. I mean,
It's regular assault.
No.
But I
Just
would
letting you
say
know,
this.
just saying.
I did sympathize with Dom when he found out he wasn't getting a Mercedes, because rest in peace, but my dad did not ever buy me a Mercedes,
neither.
and I felt that.
Yeah, me neither. My dad didn't even get me an M series.
Yeah, dude.
Not cool.
What about you, Josh? Did you ever get a Mercedes?
No. But what I did get from my father was not a great relationship. But so Jeez, that was dark, wasn't it? I was talking about piss.
I was
Not talking to my dad. Holy shit!
Josh coming in hot.
No, but I think this has just been like really well done because they've kept the story going without it keeping it going at the forefront where you're like, I'm so over this. Like, it's just been like it's been on and off little other things, and the Judgment Day have been doing things. I think the Judgment Day is a good example of where WWE's at the moment, just with maybe not like it's not the most exciting, everything's happening all at once. It's more just like the consistency and like the little bit more common sense. Like, I like how Rhea's doing her thing with Charlotte and Dominic's doing his things with Ray and Finn's doing his stuff with Edge, but they're still a unit. They're still together. They're still kind of intertwining without it being about one thing. Like this Edge stuff, which a lot of people like to have a sip and moan about, but I really enjoyed this because I think we've all clamored for long, drawn-out stories, and now we've got one, and a lot of people are like, I'm over this, but I'm like, no, I think this has been really well done. It's kind of, again, Edge has been on and off, gone, and essentially Edge has been involved with the Judgment Day for the last year.
Yeah.
In some ways. So it is cool how this is all going to come to kind of a head at Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. It feels like big again. So like the Hell in a Cell match has meaning for it. Like this needs Hell in a Cell. It's not just Hell in a Cell just cause. Like it feels good. But yeah, like I think the stuff that I'm liking most is just the common sense. Like the Judgment Day are still a group, but they're just doing their own thing, but still together. It shouldn't sound as complicated as it is, and it should be more of the norm of what we've seen for years, but it isn't. If this was a former time in WWE, I feel like by now they would have just been separated because, they can't be in two things at once.
Well, that's what they used. That's what they've kind of steered away from it a little bit in AEW, but that's what they were doing with their factions. Like, you were in the group, but you could be your own person. Like, we are all the Tom Pettys, but we're also the Heartbreakers. Shout out Pop Stars. Such a good movie.
Dustin says Charlotte Rhea would be up there, but even that hasn't had the best build.
Ooh, yeah,
Rollins and Logan, that's been good.
Yeah, there you go.
And he said this WrestleMania build has been really different compared to years past. I would say Rollins and Logan is probably
that segment they had on Raw. Not this past week, like the week before. Man, that was in Boston.
Yeah,
that was a really good segment.
That crowd was
Logan. Fucking, I know. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't swear on your show, guys. It's
shit, man.
I know. Listen, personal preference or whatever you think of this guy aside, if you just take the character of Logan Paul right now, which is essentially just himself, which is working, but man, he's a good promo. That guy can speak. Like, he's a natural at being just an absolute dickhead, and it just works for him. And that, I think Miz is doing a really good job of being the kind of middle ground man of kind of keeping the story afloat without having too much physicality yet. But that little line, the way, a lot of people wouldn't deliver certain lines a certain way and be like very good at it. Like Logan, that bye-bye bitch at the end, like,
it was, and
that was an easy line just to get lost a little bit. And like, I don't know if this makes any sense, but like, it's just a very throwaway line that what Rollins said before, but if it's not executed properly, it just sounds cheesy. Like the way that Logan did it, I was like, man, you really do have a knack for this. And I mean, again, I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions on Logan Paul, and that's very, very warranted, but man, he can go in the ring too when he's in there with people that are really good, and Rollins and Logan, I think, could be the match of the whole weekend.
Match of the weekend, 100%. I look at personally, whatever how I feel about the guy, which isn't great. Like I think Rollins in that promo that you're talking about, he said all the things that we're thinking, and I think that's why it got so over. And yeah, Philia's right. Like he's he's done some garbage stuff. He's not a great human being, but he's really, really good at this.
And he has that look about him that just kind of like, you want to punch him in his stupid head with his stupid haircut, his stupid blonde, big head, tall,
and he has that
good-looking
smile,
person, and you're like,
he does that little grin
I
smile,
hate him.
And you're like, dude,
but
I want to knock you
I will
out.
say this, one redeeming quality about Logan Paul is that he is less annoying than his brother.
That is true.
Do you think we'll see his brother make an appearance?
He showed up before.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially after he lost
at Mania. Like they're gonna do something.
Especially after he lost, I would not be. I wouldn't be crazy if it turned into not at Mania, but like sometime they're a tag team on a pay-per-view somewhere or something like that.
I just
Easily
think
could see that happen.
they made the right call leaning into this kid because Rollins had been teetering on face anyway for a while after the Cody stuff. He kind of started making his way, and then like we want to boo Logan Paul anyway, so it was a perfect marriage. It made sense. Rollins, if you're gonna get a good, you know what I mean. Logan Paul has had what 3 matches now, 4 maybe. 3 or 4, we'll just go with that.
Yeah, something like that.
And they've all been really good. But if you want to get a stellar match out of somebody, pair him with Rollins. You know you're going to get a banger. They're going to tear the house down.
It's Rollins. Rollins is one of the best to do it. But yeah, that build's been really good. I don't necessarily think Charlotte and Rhea's build has been bad. It's been pretty standard. But that doesn't always mean I would rather have a standard build than a bad build. So I can't really complain. Them two, I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on the fact that Charlotte and Rhea in the past have had fantastic. They had a great match in front of nobody, and it was still a really good match.
It was a really good match.
I think their matches, as it should, because I think Royal Rumble winners should main event each night of WrestleMania, but they should be the main event. I have a very good feeling that they're going to be one of the matches we're talking about at the end of the weekend. Bianca and Asuka, I know a lot of people were a bit confused a little bit about
Pluggo. Hi, how are you?
I know.
Gotta give her love.
I
don't want to sleep on the couch tonight.
I know a lot of people were a little bit like confused on what Asuka did on Raw. I mean, me too. I was watching it and was like, "What's really happening here?" And then the whole coexisting, and they've got like Chelsea Green and Carmella kind of just being the fall girls, really essentially for them. But
I will say this though, I like the pairing.
Oh, me
Carmella
too.
And Chelsea Green. I
I
hope
think
they dig
Chelsea-
into that a little bit.
Chelsea Green, especially, I've really
been very good
dug.
at
As soon as I was like, this role is perfect for her. She does this really well. Yeah, she does this, and she doesn't have to win matches, and she doesn't really have to wrestle that much. She's just getting over. She's just getting over purely by being a bit of a shit.
Ophelia's asking, do we think the women will get one of the main events?
Yeah, Charlotte and Rhea should main event night one.
I feel like you have 2 Royal Rumble winners. They should main event. You got 2 nights of Mania. If you're sticking with 2 nights of Mania, you got 2 Royal Rumble winners. The ladies main event. Yeah, it's what it should be. It's pretty simple.
The Royal Rumble winners should main event each night of WrestleMania. Plain and simple. That's how it should work. I don't care if there's matches that deserve it more or you think are better in that spot. No. The Royal Rumble winners should always go last match on the show, unless for there's always exceptions to the rule. But for the most part, they should always go on last. That's how I think it should go, just purely because you win the Royal Rumble, you go to the main event of WrestleMania. There's 2 Royal Rumbles, 2 nights of WrestleMania. It makes sense in my brain.
Too much sense.
And I mean, is anyone really going to complain if Charlotte and Rhea are going on in the first night of WrestleMania main event? Like, they're going to put on a barn burner of a match.
Of course,
I think again, and Asuka and Bianca, by the way, has potential to be really freaking. There's a lot of really good matches on the card that I'm thinking about now. That there is a lot of matches that have like that kind of potential of being like, wow, these are going to be really like Edge and Finn Balor in a Hell in a Cell. Their I Quit match. A lot of people were a little. I adore that match. The way it built to the end, yes. It could have been a little bit shorter, but that's just an Edge match at this stage. But like the way that built, to some great storytelling. And I think after a year of like
face when Finn said he'll bring out the demon was money. He's like,
Edge is really again, people. I don't think we got to remember that Edge isn't going to be wrestling for too much longer. Like we're not going to get 40 more matches out of Edge. Like we're on the tail end of Edge's in-ring stuff. And I feel like sometimes people are very quick to bitch on Edge a little bit about having all these 40-minute matches and all that kind of stuff. But like Edge is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of talent that we got to witness over the last 20-something years. Like Edge has been wrestling since I started watching wrestling, since a lot of us started watching wrestling. I feel like when Edge is gone is when people are going to appreciate Edge a little bit more than like right now. But Edge and Finn is going to be really good. And I expect that to be like a very storytelling kind of heavy match, which Edge is really good at. Finn's really good at. You'll involve the Judgment Day stuff and all that. But there is a lot of matches on the WrestleMania card that are shaping up that could be like, there is something for kind of everybody on this WrestleMania, which is good.
What do you think?
And I like, I'm going to say it. But I like how Edge referenced that. In the promo on Monday, where he was like, I don't have a lot of time left. And and I've been dealing with you guys for a long time. I have a plan. I want to win some titles. I want to do some stuff. So I need to, he says, can't wait for Edge to win and challenge Cody on the Raw after Mania. And then he says, if Edge only has limited time left, maybe you should wrestle faster matches
Spencer.
and he can have more of them.
Yes, you can get 80 matches instead of 40.
Josh, I'll ask you, what did you think? Oh, sorry, go ahead. No, Pluggo, you go.
Do you think we see Edge win another title before he hangs it up?
I don't think he'll win a title, but I would see him in a world title match for sure. I think him versus Cody would be a great, thing to build to have Cody get a big win over Edge type thing and keep the title. Dustin saying SmackDown is in Toronto just 2 weeks after SummerSlam in Detroit. It's true. He could. It's possible. It's possible.
Very possible.
What did you think of the John Cena theory segment from 2 Raws ago? Where obviously Cena really
just roasted him.
Yeah. He did. Cena isn't it funny how 10 years ago, if this was happening, Cena would be getting booed out of the building. God, everyone Austin Theory would have been they're like, we love Austin Theory, he's the greatest heel ever. Cena is I think even all of us at some point have gone, fuck John Cena, we're sick of him.
Of course.
But now we're in this spot where we're like, wow, it's John Cena's wrestling again, and that's kind of neat. Mm-hmm. Him and Theory, again, this could be someone's ideal, this is what I want to see, out of wrestling kind of deal. They have an opportunity to have a pretty good match. That promo, he tore Theory to shreds. And he was saying a lot of stuff that was factual. It wasn't even opinion or some people think a lot of it was just straight up he was just stating what has happened to Theory. And there is a lot of truth to that and stuff like that. Especially the small penis part, because there is Theory pictures out on the internet and it's true. But Theory is, how do I say this? What Cena said about Theory and the facts and stuff like that, he said the thing that I took away most from that program was if you win, you lose.
Yeah.
If I win, you lose.
Yeah.
Is that true to a certain degree with how Theory has had things happen to him? He had the Money in the Bank and then he lost and then he won the United States title and then he blah, 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 blah. All these things happen to him. It's kind of a little bit up and down with Theory. It is kind of, when you think about it, if Austin Theory does beat John Cena, does that really do that much for Austin Theory other than just I beat John Cena?
Exactly. Well, that's what it is. He can say forever that he has beaten John Cena.
But Cena was he'll come out here the Monday after Mania.
Yeah, and this crowd will eat you alive, which will happen. But he's a shit-eating heel.
He's going to be I beat Cena. I don't care what any of you people
Do you think he's going to beat Cena? Do you think Cena's going to win? Is there a possibility that Cena wins?
Originally going into it, I actually thought Cena was going to win, but after that promo segment, I was like, Cena can't cut that type of promo on the kid, and then the kid loses. If
it wasn't for the title, I would be a little bit more inclined to think that Cena's going to.
Spencer thinks that Cena's going to smoke.
But so I guess if you say that, you can't cut that type of promo and then have Theory lose. Maybe you can. Maybe they're not. Maybe they tried to repackage Theory and it's just not working, and they're like, you know what, this is a great way.
Is it working?
I feel like it is working.
No, I'm saying backstage. I think the new Theory, again, this is one of those in a vacuum if we're just talking about the wrestler. I think this is some of the best stuff he's done in a long time in terms of this character work. I enjoy it. But if maybe they're not super high on it, maybe they're not, Vince had no problem back in the day going, we're done with this push. Let's just repackage him.
Yeah,
something else.
I will say the Triple H era of WWE does let things breathe a little bit. It's not just 2 weeks and then he's like, oh, this isn't working. He gives it time to not work if it's not going to work, which I really appreciate. As this show is called Between Two Beards, I have very high opinions and very, very just very strong opinions on Austin Theory's beard. I think it's one of the worst beards I've ever seen in my life. As two people with good beards, you must have opinions on this ugly ass beard that he has.
It's not that great. I think if he was
patchy
gonna have,
and it's thin
if you
and
were gonna have
shave
facial hair, you should have just kept whatever you had before for the most part.
Austin Theory seems like a person that I would look at and go, damn, he's fine. But I look at him and I just go, yuck, you're not attractive.
I think that beard is what it is. I think that's part of the character. You're like, I don't like this guy, especially his face right here.
Yeah. How are we feeling about Brock Lesnar and Omos, Josh?
It's going to be an awesome 2K stream.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have our stream in a couple of weeks, friends. We got 2 nights to do as well. So should I tell everyone here on Beards when we're gonna do that, JPJ, or how we're gonna do 2 nights? Because we might have to do a little Between Two Beards simulation stream to lead into Between Two Beards for night 1 of WrestleMania simulation.
Smart Mouth in the house saying you tune in for Beards, you get a bonus. Josh, what a great Thursday. Speaking of that, we've got news to break too here soon.
Yeah, we'll be breaking some news a little bit later on tonight.
We got news
it's going to
break.
be good.
Josh is talking about streaming, pre-streams all over, piss streams, whatever.
Piss streams? Hey, on Kick, baby. It's not for Twitch, it's for Kick.
All right, so, man. Anything else that it seems to be where they're going? Is that really what we have for Mania?
Let's talk about Damage Control and Trish Stratus and Lita and Becky.
I do want to talk about that.
I am enjoying this, but I don't know if everyone else is like enjoying this as much as I am. I think they've done it fairly slow, and I think there's a lot of rumors going around about Trish Stratus after WrestleMania and if she's going to continue on for a little while. But I won't dive into dirt sheet stuff. But I will say one thing. Last year when Lita come back and she had that match with Becky Lynch, she looked like $1 million. They had a great match. Lita was going. Why is it that a few weeks ago on Raw, Lita kind of forgot how to wrestle?
Yeah, it was a little rough.
But no hate. I love Lita. She cannot wrestle properly, and I'd still think she's the coolest human being in the world. Do what you want. You're Lita. You're cool as shit. But she kind of forgot how to wrestle a little bit. Trish looks great. The little interactions she's had with Bayley and that, and the selling she did on Raw, I'm like, I think Trish can still kind of go. Like Trish looks great. Lita looks great too. But yeah, Lita's kind of it's like she had that match last year and said, "Damn, I'm real good at this still," and then had a match this year and we went, well, yeah, I'm Lita.
Yeah, she was riding off that. She's like, you know what, I got this, and then didn't train at all.
Yeah,
she can still do a move. Cool. And bitch, she's the tag team champion, so it matters.
She was like,
no hate, Lita.
You want to do that? I haven't wrestled in like a year, and I haven't been doing anything. Boss says we got to get this announcement in before 9:00. Josh, do you want to be a part of this announcement?
Go for it. You can. I'm here.
Well, before we do, because then we'll do it before 9:00, guaranteed. I do want to answer Dustin's question real quick. So he says, do you think they'll announce the tag match with Sami, Kevin, and the Usos this upcoming Monday, or wait till the last minute, like maybe even the SmackDown before WrestleMania?
I think you could. I honestly, with this, I think you could wait till the last minute because we all expect it to happen. So I think we all just assume it's going to happen. So what's the point of announcing it now if you can just wait till the night before, and be like, or even night 1, honestly, why not? Be like, Kevin finally cracks at WrestleMania and is like, tomorrow night. Let's go, brother.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I have personally...
We all know it's happening, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And I personally love the fact that Owens is being so damn stubborn. Because he is stubborn. That's been his whole character.
He's being a bit of a bitch. Isn't that funny? Laugh at my jokes, you dumbasses.
L's in the chat for Josh.
Oh, that's hilarious. And we have Spencer saying SmackDown before Mania is going to end with Sami and Kevin hugging and the match being made official. Oh, man. All right.
Make your announcement.
All right, hold on, will you? Jeez,
we're still laughing at your joke, Josh.
Oh, I know. I'm so funny. I love tension, I guess.
Yeah. We have a big match, Pluggo. I'll show the graphic. You're good at this.
I gotta
you do it. Yeah, you're much better at this.
Look at you guys.
Wow.
But we are announcing a match
for LPW 13.
Yeah, damn right. We are announcing a match, and that match is, drum roll, please. Here we go.
Team Ride or Die versus Parallel tag team action. I'm excited for this. That still don't want to grow up. LPW 13, March 31st at the Rec Room in Alberta, Canada. Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'm sorry.
Yes,
See,
get it
I'm
right,
not good at
Pluggo.
this.
It's
This is
in
a
Edmonton.
very long graphic, but yes, it's our girl
Well,
TFA.
I put it on loop on purpose, bro.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're
just
a
in case you
pro.
wanted to talk.
TFA
Yeah,
is back.
I know what I'm doing.
She missed the last show.
Taryn is back, which is
Taryn is
you
back.
know we are.
Stephen
You're wearing the shirt.
Crow.
Pluggo's wearing the shirt. We are huge fans of Taryn from
Stands.
Accounting.
But yes, and Paralera, they're doing their damn thing. A little tag match. I like this matchup a lot. I think that this has future tag team championship implications against the RADz, aka the RADz. I'm sorry to call
if you know,
if they don't get suspended, they like to get suspended.
Just saying.
But it's nice to see Stephen Crow and Taryn from Accounting back together.
Yes,
together.
it should
and
be very, very
Paralera
good.
is very good as well. Check them out. But of course, you know, he gave us this announcement. He knows that we stand for TFA. So we're going to gush over how awesome TFA is. But these 4 competitors overall are amazing. The Rec Room's going to be popping on the 31st. If I saw correctly, we sold out. It's sold out. I don't think you can get tickets unless you know a guy that knows a guy.
Maybe
Spencer needs to fly me over to Canada at some point.
I need to get up there too. I need to get up there too.
Let's go.
It's just a casual, like, I think it's like 16 hours.
Oh, the
no
premium.
joke.
The premium sold out
okay,
today.
okay.
So there are still tickets available, but they will sell out before the show.
I admittedly had myself a day on the shoot side, so things I saw was kind of in like quick bursts.
Pluggo, likely story. Likely story.
Listen to you. VIP sold out, but you know, you gotta get them tickets.
It's true.
It's
true.
As long as the RADz don't end up getting suspended, like, you know, because they just do that. But yes. That match is gonna hump. The whole card is gonna hump, and that happens right here on this very Twitch channel. For those that don't know, you stay on this Twitch channel every last Friday of the month at 9 p.m. Boom, we got you.
Yeah,
great wrestling.
I did want to talk. Obviously, some news came out earlier this week about Bray Wyatt, and you know, Bray Wyatt came back at Extreme Rules, which was what, last October, November, something like that.
September.
Was it September? Somewhere around
I think
there.
So.
Yeah, great.
October,
great return. Universally,
one of the best. Returns.
Yeah, truly, like universally loved on the return. Fantastic. Slight, and I've always been a Bray Wyatt guy. But we're hearing there's a possible injury, or we're hearing that, you know, he's out for Mania, not around anymore. And that is obviously, you know, how the internet and social media can work. You know, people coming out saying, "Oh, Vince is back and Bray Wyatt's gone," or Bray Wyatt wasn't getting over, so they got rid of him, or creative differences, all this crap. So I just wanted to have a general discussion about Bray Wyatt, because it seemed like they were going the route it was going to be Bobby Lashley and Bray Wyatt at Mania, and then this news kind of broke that Wyatt's gone now, so Lashley's going to be doing something else.
Or is he?
So the debut was awesome. Everyone knows the debut is one of the better debuts of all time. But how are you feeling, Josh, about the Bray Wyatt experience since the debut on such a high? Like, have you been still in on it? You enjoyed it? Was that your vibe?
Yeah, I would be lying if I said it was like my favorite thing in the world. I love this kind of stuff to no ends. But I kind of like the fact that he's wrestled once. I kind of like that, because I don't think he should be wrestling every week. If he's going to be in this kind of character, like, double down on that shit. You shouldn't be wrestling on every Friday night SmackDown or whatever, you know, whatever you want to say. But I think the only thing that I haven't loved about all of it is that how long has it been? How long ago was October? Like 6 months ago,
Yeah, like
roughly.
6, 7 months.
There's still not a lot of explanation about what the fuck is going on. There's a lot of like all these little bits and pieces, then you can kind of puzzle it together. And I think it is a lot up to our own imagination. I think that's the whole point of some of it. But there should be some kind of, like, what the fuck is Uncle Howdy? Like, I understand it's going to happen at some point, but like, what I think, even if it's not a 100% explanation of this is what exactly is, like, just give us a little piece, like, why is the Funhouse still around? Why haven't we seen The Fiend? Why haven't we seen certain elements of everything like that? And I know there's been I think the problem with it this time around, if there is a problem, which I don't think it's a huge problem, but I do think that Bray Wyatt lacks the same mystique that he once had. There's a little bit more like, I know it sounds weird to say this with all the stuff that's been going on, but there's a little bit more normal to it, or to him, than maybe it's just, he used to protect that a lot more. And I feel like now he doesn't protect it as much, not on screen, but off screen. There's a little bit more like, he's a normal guy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that everyone should have to live in kayfabe, and I don't think that is, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it should be like that. But there's with that kind of character, there has to be a level of like, almost confusion.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think it's been done bad. A lot of people seem to think it's like the end of the world, but I'm like, no. And having a sponsored match in there really didn't help him.
No, that was. You came back for the Mountain Dew pitch match.
I think that match.
I like the neon stuff too. Like, I think the match was fine, but
cool.
like
the
Mountain
cool,
Dew-ness of it
It
all.
was very Mountain Dewy.
What
is his injury? Because like you said it, Josh, with the Uncle Howdy stuff. Like, couldn't you just kind of let Uncle Howdy kind of do the thing until you're okay for Mania, or if not, like you could figure out a way to write it off? I don't know, because like I heard a report that it was creative issues. I heard that he was injured. Sean Ross Sapp pretty much said it was an injury, but there wasn't disclosed.
I don't think it's injury. Wasn't he like? It was like a fit. It wasn't necessarily an injury. It sounds like he's sick.
Yeah,
it sounds like he's sick.
Yes.
That's what it sounds like to me anyway. Like it sounds like he's sick more than anything. Like maybe he just has like a stomach bug or something, or like something's going on. But I don't necessarily think. But I think the problem with Bray Wyatt is that the return was so good that the expectation was that this is going to be the best thing that they're doing, and he should be the most talked about thing. And when it's fallen below that, people just think it's a failure, which I don't necessarily mean it hasn't been a failure by any stretch of the word. I don't think. But because it's not like the best thing going in WWE, or like he's like the number one prodigy of everything, I think a lot of people seem to tend to think that, well, he's just, it sucks.
Yeah, so they listed it as a physical issue, is what they called it. They said sources familiar with the situation who have worked with Wyatt claim to Fightful that Bray Wyatt is currently sidelined with a physical issue, and they're not sure on a return time as of now. There had been rumors that Wyatt had walked out due to creative issues, but thus far we haven't gained any information that would confirm that. So a physical issue is what they're calling it. But he's been... he was removed from the March 12th show at MSG. He was absent from it, which kind of started the fans kind of speculating about it and stuff like that. But I agree with you, Josh. Like, just because, I don't think it's been a failure by any means. I actually think it's been like pretty creative stuff, to be honest with you. Like, I do like how they kind of leave it up to the fans' imagination a little bit of how they perceive the stuff to be. Like, you know what I mean? Like the inner, like the, I don't think the match, even though I didn't hate the match, I don't think the match did him any favors. I feel like if the match maybe would have gotten over a little bit more, it might have been a little bit different from like a fan reaction thing. But other than that, I mean, obviously I hope he comes back and he's okay. You know what I mean?
Is this just maybe a little bit of like, they can't do supernatural since Taker? They just don't do it well?
No, I don't think it's a matter of supernatural stuff. I think it's a matter of the expectation of it not living up to
that's
what
part of it. It's hard to get the fans to be like, no, I believe that shit. So I'm just wondering. I'm curious. It's more of a devil's advocate question because I haven't hated the Bray stuff. No. I've never really. I mean, some of it can be kind of out there, and like you're like, like you said, the Mountain Dew pitch black match didn't do him any favors. But like, I don't hate it all. It's just very hard to get behind, and then he must have something that's pretty serious if they're going to pull the plug on it. Because I said you could get away with a couple vignettes here and there with Uncle Howdy, yada yada yada. So it must be something, which hopefully he gets better. So hopefully they find something for Bobby Lashley to do, or Owen.
Well, and I was going to say,
Owen is going to be pissed.
What do you do with Bobby Lashley, LA Knight, Uncle Howdy, Mustafa Ali? I like Mustafa Ali's.
Yeah, that little like, little like, what would you, how would you, I don't know how to describe it. It's just very like,
positive.
positive.
Yeah, but it's like bullshit positive though.
Yeah, it's like
it's
that.
like fucking
yeah.
over the. I'm sorry, Asshole, but it's like it's
like
not
that
real.
guy
You look at
that's
him, you're
like,
you're full of shit.
Yeah, like, are you being
Like
nice?
you
or
just
are
want to
you
say
being-
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, there
really.
you go. Positive Ali.
He's that
Spencer
guy that's
says-
like, go out there and break a leg, brother.
Yeah, he goes, Bray has to go out and have an absolute banger here sooner rather than later to remind people how neat he actually is.
Yeah.
He goes, The Undertaker had like a WrestleMania streak in 4 good years in a 25-year career.
Sir,
I know.
that's coming from a Bret
And he
Hart
goes, they've
fan.
hardly ever been able to do Supernatural. And then earlier, Ophelia said, she said, also, John Cena throwing support to Vince was not on my bingo card this year.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
no.
we didn't even talk about. But
Oh, yeah, that-
Before we get into that, I will
Yeah.
say the supernatural thing to kind of tie that. I just think in this particular era, it's harder to do because you need that the Taker thing. Like you believed it for a little bit when I was a kid. Obviously, that was when I was
because
a
there's
kid,
the
you're
problem though. We're all grown men now.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So to a kid, Bray Wyatt might hit different than to us.
Right. Because
Yes.
I will tell you, I will not. I thought for a long time that Kane and Taker were actual brothers.
Listen,
Yeah, me too. I thought Edge and Christian. I thought Edge and Christian were actual brothers.
I started watching wrestling right around the time that The Undertaker debuted, shortly after. And I was
You old as hell, JPJ.
I am old, damn it. Look at this. But like I started watching around that time.
bro.
I know. I started watching. I wish I was 25.
That beard was fully like a brunette beard 93 episodes ago.
It was. This is just from working with Pluggo. If you're new here, this is literally just from working with Pluggo. No, I'm just kidding. But like, I remember being a 6 or 7 year old kid, and when he was the bad Undertaker, with like when he first got Paul Bearer and stuff, like I was a kid, and I was like, "That's a scary MF. Like, I don't want to be around that. Like, that guy scares me. That's not cool." And then they made him a good guy, and me being a kid, I was like, "Okay, I like him now. He's a good guy." But but like, a kid might see that Bray Wyatt stuff, especially like even in that match when the lights went off and they had the cool face paint, and he just looked the way he did. Like a little kid, a 6, 7, 8 year old kid's gonna see that and be like, "That's the coolest thing I've ever seen."
When I
know
was
what I mean?
7, 8,
Like-
9, 10, Uncle Howdy jumping off that platform and missing, I wouldn't have even noticed that he fucking missed. But
Yeah,
me being
it was bad. He missed by a lot.
the soon-to-be 37-year-old man that I am, I was like, he missed that all the shit. But a 10-year-old, I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
all right, Josh is here. We've got Josh. So what a perfect opportunity to talk about John Cena and his just if I was gonna, since we're love wrestling, if I was gonna spin it in a nice way, his misfire of comments on Vince. But let's all just he messed up.
Yeah.
Okay. There was
It's
two ways to go
gross,
about this fucking thing,
gross.
wasn't there?
Yeah, let me.
Yes.
There was 2 ways to go about this. You either say he's a piece
Nothing.
of crap for what he did, or you say no comment.
Exactly.
If you really just want to take the high road, it is okay to say no comment.
Yep.
You do not need to say I love this man for being perfectly whatever the fuck he said. Shut up, John Cena. What the hell? He's allocated
we all
to do
make
some.
mistakes.
So-
is pretty much
So,
what he
see,
said.
the exact quote.
No.
That's bad. It's bad. Everyone has the right to have their perspective. Not a good start, John.
Yeah,
not a good
it's not
start.
because we know where you're leading, bud.
I knew from the first sentence. I went, shit.
I went, no,
Shit.
John,
Did he-
you've been
did
such
he-
a good man.
Yeah.
Real quick, did he forget that we can't see him, but we can still hear him?
I wish I couldn't have seen this.
Oh,
But he said, everyone has the right to their perspective. I have the right to have mine.
it's just
When
a
you
train ride. Like,
love somebody, when you love somebody, you take them as imperfectly perfect as they are. We all make mistakes. We all have poor decisions. Lord knows I've made my collection of poor choices.
okay,
That doesn't
John.
mean I'm not going to love somebody. There's no way I can go on record and say I don't love Vince McMahon. Nobody's asking you to say you don't love Vince McMahon. They're
John.
asking you to say that what he did was fucking wrong.
John,
That's it.
you
Simple.
said you've made mistakes. I would like to know if you've ever allegedly sexually abused or done sexual favors, or what did Vince do? Like paid millions of dollars to like basically just have affairs with a bunch of different women, or he's gonna like fire him or some whatever the allegations were. You don't just say, oh well, everyone makes. Making a mistake is going left instead of going right at a turn and having to turn around and go over to the other thing and taking an extra 5 minutes. That's making a mistake. You can love someone for not doing that. But I did not put my PP in places that didn't need to go in places for money.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Oh my god. Yeah, John Cena, what the he's usually, and the thing is he's usually really good.
Like this is what he's really good at. PR. He's
good at like
interviews. Like he's a master at this shit. How can you be that? Like how can you not,
John?
Whether you love the guy or not, because he gave you your career. I get whatever.
We're not saying that you didn't. Yeah.
Nobody's saying we want you to say that you hate Vince McMahon. We want you to say that what he did was wrong,
or just say nothing,
or just say, I'm not talking about.
I'm not here
just
to
say
talk
nothing,
about
buddy.
I have a pretty killer WrestleMania match coming up, but I guess in the twofold. Now I'm not agreeing with his comments. I don't think what he said was right at all, or he shouldn't have said it. But I will say there probably is that pressure. Like you're John Cena, you were the face of this company for 20 years, and he glosses over the question. That says a lot too. So he needed to come up with, just say it better, bro. Just don't. You basically were like,
you could easily say, hey, I think what Vince did was really wrong. I don't agree with anything Vince did, but I'm not going to sit here and slander him on, like, he gave me a lot. But what I don't agree with what he did. Easy done, shuts down the question. People have a little bitch like, you're just being a little, but at least they won't say, John, like, what? You're basically just dismissing all of these horrible things that he's allegedly done. It wasn't it. I don't want to get into it too much, but John, what
John,
the hell,
we all
gotta be better than that.
mistakes,
Gotta be
but
better
some
than that.
mistakes are bigger than others, and some mistakes people grow from, and it seems like Vince has just kind of stayed in that lane. Maybe you just let that go. Just
not the saddle you want to jump on right now, buddy. Not the horse you want to saddle up on and ride into the sunset with.
That's the hill you want to die on.
Sometimes it's okay to leave the horse in the wilderness. It's okay. Yeah. You don't have to jump on and save that one too.
Yeah,
like you've done a lot of things right.
Say like,
John.
hey, I owe Vince my career and move on, or something like even like something as simple as that. Hey, I don't want to.
I'd prefer not to. I don't want to answer that
talk
question.
About that, but like I owe a lot to.
Or just make up some BS and say legally I'm not allowed to comment on this.
Say like I don't condone the allegations against the man. You could even go that route. Like I don't condone it. I had a different relationship with Vince. Like,
easy.
He was just my boss. Business. Like yes,
we get it. Just because Vince did some awful things doesn't mean he did something awful to everybody. However, you still don't need to just put your hand up and say, what a great man. Oh, I love him. Like he basically just sucked him off on the fucking interview. Like, just shut up, man. Shut the hell up. And just don't say anything. Yeah. Saying nothing is better.
That's just not wrong here. Let's talk about the upcoming season of Peacemaker would have been.
Great.
The show ruled. I love that show.
Great.
I still haven't seen it. I don't know how.
You haven't seen Peacemaker?
I haven't yet.
Obviously we're talking about John Cena acting like an idiot. It's good. Very enjoyable.
I will segue off of some.
Yeah, let's not talk about this.
Let's not talk. But I want to ask because I don't know how long we have you, Josh. You guys prearranged this without me, which is great. I'm prearranged it.
He hopped in the chat and then he messaged me right after going, "I'm free for a run-in if you want."
I was like, "You ran in on my stream?" So
no, I don't mean that in a negative sense. Like you guys hammered it out, so I don't know the details. So while
I'm here for as long as you need.
So it was till 2 a.m. We're gonna roll, but no.
Jesus, that's a long way away from me.
I got divorced the other day because I forgot to tell Mrs. Pluggo that the Bella twins are now the Garcia
twins.
How do you feel about that? What do you think?
You're Bella. I was gonna say you are the
Bella
twins.
I love the Bellas. Now the Garcias. It sounds like they're done with the WWE. They're gonna rebrand themselves. I don't know if this means they're gonna get wrestling again. They didn't say that on the pod. How do you feel?
No, they did comment. Nikki went on Instagram Live and said, "I'm not." Nikki went on Instagram.
good thing.
Hold on, Josh.
No,
This is
hold
2
on. She
weeks-
said nice things.
Oh no. This is 2 weeks in a row. Sorry, we're getting
What?
interrupted.
Warfare, bro.
We're getting
We
interrupted.
got business to handle.
What's up, nerds?
Who gave them the link?
You thought you got rid of us, hey? That's
Oh,
funny.
what's up,
You guys are
nerd?
really funny. I like you
Yeah.
guys.
Listen,
Are you eating? That's
he's eating an apple.
He's eating an apple.
He's eating an apple.
Oh,
I mean, that's
apple,
actually a
man.
better choice than I
Take
would
care of
make.
your
Obviously, I don't make choices that smart, but
What are you doing?
what are you doing here? First and foremost,
First and foremost, I want to make it aware to the world that Ben Ullman got screwed last month getting suspended by LPW. And if it takes a suspension to slap Thad in the face, you're damn right, each one of the RADz is probably going to take a month vacation after we dominate Slevin next month at LPW on March 31st. Yeah, those losers that you cheer for. I know JPJ is a tip toucher. I know Josh there, he's a tip toucher.
What are you
Everybody
coming
wants
after
to
me
touch
for?
tips with the RADz, baby.
When we know you're a Beards lover. There's pictures on the internet. You love this show. You love us.
That's simply not true.
I've seen the
how did
pictures.
you get
I've
this
got-
link? Who gave you?
How do
this
you
link?
get the link? TY did the same thing. How are you guys doing this? This is ridiculous.
You know what, guys? I do
Dude,
have something.
Sick of this shit.
Here is the nicest thing that I can do and say about your show. You ready?
We're
Get ready for this. It's going to make headlines.
What a piece of shit! Unbelievable.
I like him.
I do too. Kind
As,
of.
as not a regular person on this show, he may add the pizzazz that just is needed.
You like his attitude?
Yeah.
You like the
And
attitude?
he was eating an apple.
He was eating an apple. I mean, he
As a
is-
person who
look
used
at-
to stack fruit and veg for a living, I can't hate that.
No, I like a good apple.
I like a good vegetable or fruit or whatever.
Oh, we got
but what
Dustin
I
touching
don't-
tips there. Dustin's touching
What
tips.
I don't
I
like
feel you saying.
is our streams getting crashed on a weekly basis now.
Smart mouth
and
eating on stream,
nobody,
big
Yeah, it
heel
is
move.
actually.
Big hill- and nobody in management is doing anything about it. Isn't
Dustin
that
say maybe the
weird?
RADz have hired the WWE hacker from the Thunderdome era to get rich. And 2 weeks in a row,
Dude,
the RADz have a member of the RADz have popped in here to give Pluggo and I shit. Although
I
Rich was
will-
kind of nice to me. He complimented me.
I will say this.
But,
TY said he was the nice one of the RADz. I think Rich was actually much nicer.
Yeah. I to me at least.
I mean,
At least he has good taste.
I know for
But, you know,
a
it-
fact when he got off that stream, he was singing our praises about how amazing this show is because they love us. I said the picture's on the internet. I have it.
And
He's holding a
Spencer's saying
sign.
we do at least support the healthy eating choice. I think you have to.
Yeah,
Ophelia says, who next week? I'm telling you what, it better be nobody next week.
yeah. No
How
more
about that?
of this. There better not be another one tonight.
There's how many? There's 2 more members of the RADz. And we like
I don't
it's gonna
know
be
how many
Larry
members
next week,
of
and
the-
then what? Ben's gonna hop off suspend. I mean, you and Ben almost got into it.
Ben,
I mean,
Ben has trouble
Ben came
buttoning up
at
his
you on
own
brunch
shirt.
a couple
He
weeks
did.
ago. Like, what
He
the hell,
fired
bro?
up.
All right,
I didn't even
we get-
do
talking-
anything. Anyway,
We were talking about
talking
Nikki and
about-
Bree. Josh was starting to talk before our interruption. Son of a Mitch has been
already
on
yelled.
this show. Mitch
Yeah,
has been
he-
on this show.
He yelled
He's a
at
friend
me
of the
around
show. Maybe not after all this.
LPW.
Guys can't be an original gimmick. Yeah, you are right. It is probably a great spot for a sponsor plug. Rich King, who was just on here, his
Eating an
logo was
apple,
covering up
healthy.
the RK Athletics logo. He was showing you why, because I'm 100% he was in the gym. He was in a locker room,
He was
probably just got done
dedicated.
shredding a workout for the last 3 hours, eating an apple.
Mm.
Talking
Rich
shit
King
and touching tips.
Runs RK Athletics. I can disagree with the way he goes about some stuff, but one thing I can't disagree with is he's a damn good personal trainer. And if you live in the Edmonton area or even virtually, he and the RK Athletics group are the team to go to. And you can follow them on all social medias platforms, at RK Athletics 1. You see the logo on all of our streams here at Love Wrestling. They've been the OG since day one. They are the day one-ish RK Athletics, even though he's clearly rude sometimes.
Listen, it's not my fault that I think that they're scared coming up on March 31st, but you know.
Okay, let's get back on track here.
Let's get back on
on
track.
track here. Let's shake
Hopefully,
it off.
no more interruptions.
Let's shake it off. Nikki and Bree, you were just supposed to talk about some stuff they put on the interwebs.
Yeah,
So,
sorry about
Josh,
that,
the floor is back to you, my friend.
That's fine. It's fine. Okay, so Nikki went on Instagram Live the day after their podcast dropped and said they're not going to AEW. I know that means nothing, but that's what she said. She said wrestling. Listen. Why Bree's pretty much free to wrestle, I'm assuming. Nikki, it's not like Nikki can take bumps every night because of her neck. So, you know, and the style. I mean, although there is some things going on in AEW where those two ladies would fit right into a group. But I'm not gonna, and with their history with a certain leader of that group. But I will say that I'm not surprised that they're taking a step away from WWE. I know they were. Listen, I don't think a lot of people realize the stuff. I get a lot of hate for this, and I'll eat that hate. But Nikki and Brie are they're my two favorite things in wrestling ever. I've never been attached to something so heavily as I have with wrestling with them two. I think they're great. I'm not going to get into all the accolades and all that, but I think they did a lot for women's wrestling that not a lot of people like to admit. Anyway, they did a lot for WWE. I don't think people realize that Nikki Bella Says I Do, that 4-part series that just aired, was a WWE made show. All of their reality stuff was WWE made stuff. All of their appearances was WWE stuff. They were under contracts. Nikki even stated in that podcast, I listened to the whole thing. She said, we weren't under a Legends deal. We were under a WWE talent deal. Like, they were still on the same deal they had signed back years and years and years ago. They were active talent. They were doing a lot of stuff for WWE. And I'm assuming, being under the WWE bubble, that there's probably a lot of opportunities that they both got presented with that they had to, what they were declined on because of WWE. You know, a lot of people go on about how, like, people love to attack Saraya on the internet, and she fights back, and she earns some of that hate in some regards by fighting back. But, you know, freedom and all these words, like, it doesn't necessarily mean bad. Freedom doesn't mean that they were treated bad. Like Nikki and Brie said, we were there for a long time. We were not treated, they didn't end on, like, it was just time to move on and do other things. They want to do more reality TV. They want to get into acting. I think they said they want to keep growing their wine company. They want to get into some other things. And they just want to, listen.
They want to do whatever they want without having to check first.
I will say this, a lot of people, I'm not saying they're not A-list celebrities at all. But a lot of people do see those two girls and go, oh, I don't know their names, but I know they're the two wrestlers. They're the two twin wrestlers. People know, especially women. Women know who Nikki and Brie are because of E. Yeah. People want to admit it or not, or people like to put that in a negative light, or like, oh, they were getting eyes in from a reality show, not from wrestling. Bitch, by proxy, they were getting more people to watch wrestling, even if it was just for them.
That's what I tell that story all the time when we bring up the Bella Twins. Like Mrs. Pluggo, that's how she discovered the Bella Twins and became like I'd be watching wrestling, and then the E story. We watched Total Divas all the way through, and then, you know, hey, oh, is that Daniel Bryan? Is that her husband? And then like, oh, let me watch this match. And then even if it is one match, it's a set of eyes on a WWE match. So it worked out great.
Spencer's saying he's got to take off, friends, heading to celebrate some 316 Day. Happy holidays to those who celebrate. We are. Actually, I wanted to talk about Stone Cold tonight, and I think we're gonna, for sure. Owen 316 says, I just broke your neck. You're celebrating the Owen 316 Day, aren't you? Aren't you? I never forget. Yeah, I mean, good for them. Imagine they showed up at AEW though and joined the Outcast to round out the five.
Can you imagine the heel heat that those two would get in a pro wrestling company that cares about wrestling? The two most non-wrestling women ever that ever stepped foot in the ring. You know what? I'm going to look directly in the camera. This might be a little bit of an unhinged, Josh, but I'm going to look directly in the camera. Every person that's ever hated on Nikki and Brie Bella, suck my ass. Honestly, you don't know what it you just don't get it. I never say that. You can like what you like and you have a reason not to like them, that's fine. But to say that they didn't contribute and help the landscape of where women are today,
yeah, that's
you have a tiny penis. Honestly, you're dumb.
That's just blatantly not true. I mean, that part's blatantly.
I understand there's a lot of hate. Nikki and Brie.
Oh, look at this. Dustin giving you a promo sense. Speaking of the Bellas, be sure to watch the Josh's The Legacy of series, including the Bella Twins episode.
Hey
and a
now,
new season
Dustin,
coming
you look at you. Yes,
Beauty.
WrestleMania weekend, the Friday, but well, it would be Friday, Saturday, depending on where you are in the world. Immediately following the Rampage before WrestleMania. So WrestleMania weekend, the Legacy of WrestleMania 24 kicks off season 4 of the Legacy of. We got a little bit of a new format. We got some new little things, more footage provided by just all different kinds of wrestling games and stuff like that. Same lovable attitude of the Legacy of, but 8 episodes. You can see the graphic on my Twitter. I know that probably a lot of people would like to know that I've got Alicia Fox in there, which by a lot of people, again, another person that gets a lot of interesting opinions. Zach is not one of those. I am making that episode specifically for Zach because Alicia Fox is great. Dixie Carter's in there. I'm going to talk about TNA, Vicky Guerrero, Alexa Bliss, Emma, all these different kinds of people and just doing different things. So yeah, Legacy of. Thank you for giving me the chance to plug that, Dustin. It's only a couple of weeks away and the Legacy of is back.
Good stuff.
Hey, you're allowed to plug anything you want. You talk about
Oh, yeah,
you
for
want
sure.
here on this show. We're fine with that.
All right, now that I think Spencer's gone. Today.
Well, yeah, can we talk shit about
Today is 316 day. And it's stone cold. It's Austin 316 day. So I wanted to talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know, he wrestled a match last year at WrestleMania, main evented night 1 against Kevin Owens. They tried to get him to come back.
What day is it?
It's 316. Oh my God!
What?
Hell yeah!
You just did that. You have equipment. Oh my God!
Pluggo, the show's
I
not
had
over.
one.
We're still going.
One sparkling water. Then I had another sparkling water because I don't drink. I had another one, and another one.
Oh my God! You just keep it on going.
Hey, I made.
You are going to be.
Oh, that burns the eyes.
I will no shit. It burns your eyes, Pluggo.
Oh, I'm gonna be wet for the rest.
I was gonna say we still. I mean, we got a little time here. It says also, please don't forget that is also Aaliyah Day Eve. Is that true?
That is true.
That is true, actually.
Wait, what? Aaliyah Day?
Aaliyah 317.
Aaliyah 317.
Yeah, Mrs.
Damn, you're right.
Is gonna be pissed.
Oh, I feel you said
yeah,
Mrs. Pluggo, come get your man. Aaliyah 317. You're right. I completely forgot about that. Holy crap.
So did everybody.
St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's.
Aaliyah.
Pluggo, I can't get over the fact that you just poured liquid on headphones and you have a computer in front of you. Like, that just, the nerd in me is very mad that you just did that. I mean, I appreciate the bit, but oh my God.
I didn't get
That's
anything.
insane.
I don't think
It's all over the floor. It has to be.
it's all over the floor. It's all over
Has
the
to
Probably
floor.
just started an electrical fire. No big
That's what
deal.
I'm saying. Pluggo disappear.
Listen. As
All
long
right.
as it's cleaned up before Mrs. Pluggo gets home, we're good. As long as she never sees this clip and knows. So if you're on the Twitter sphere, don't tweet at Mrs. Pluggo right now and tell her I just made a mess in her laundry room. Don't do it.
What did you pour on yourself? Was it beer?
No, these are Waterloo Peach sparkling waters. This is actually a fancy.
That's the most
brand.
2023 like woke version of. I didn't put. I don't want to drink beers. I don't want to have the extra calories. But
It's
I'll
not
do this
that.
peach water.
Plug up. I heard this quote from somebody, and I want to give him credit, but I don't remember who said it. I think everybody has a certain number of alcoholic beverages they're allowed to have in their life, and I already hit mine.
You already went through yours.
I went through mine. I went through
early.
next.
You checked
life,
off the list early.
So Pluggo doesn't drink, so that's the best that I could do for 316 day. Is
I would have advised
Well,
just regular
it's not-
water.
it's not
though.
even
I should have
316
got some.
I know
some
it's not
Bud
for you
Zero.
anymore, right?
Yeah, it's 3/7. Well,
So
wait,
Aaliyah
no,
Day
you
for
say
you.
you say you're the only country in the world that says the dates backwards. By the way, because we would say 17th of the 3rd. You say 3/7. It's not
Yeah.
America doing things.
We
that's
can't. We got to be
nowhere
our
else.
own people.
You're the only one that doesn't use kilometers anymore. I believe.
Yeah.
Like everyone else.
Everyone else uses
Liters,
the metric system.
liters, yeah, we
Fuck
don't-
you. We're
what
making
the fuck
our
are
own.
you doing? It's
Everyone
just the most
calls,
American
everyone
thing
calls
in the
that
world.
country Deutschland. No, that's Germany. You know,
You
like,
guys,
what are we talking
America.
about?
I mean this with all sincerity. Like I'm not attacking the American way, but you guys are pretty. You could be cooked.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm an honorary Canadian now.
That is true.
That's a good country to tie your hat to,
Team
honestly.
speedball for life, man. You know, that's also why all the haywire shit's been going on. I think that somebody secretly sent Shane Hawk to Stone Cold Stun our boy Lawrence, our lawyer, which is why all this stuff is taking so long, because he is recuperating in his home from a stunner he took at Friday Night Speedball.
I'm just like, I just don't know how they're getting the link 2 weeks in a row. Obviously, there's only a certain number of people here who have access to it. So
yeah, we'll get to the bottom of this. Was
saying.
it you? Was it you, Josh?
No,
you just said it.
Listen,
Anyways.
I'm. Have you not heard now? I don't have time for to do meddle in things. I'm a big star now.
You're a big star. Big star. Do big things.
I'm doing big things. Like, you should be on it to have. I found time out of my busy schedule to be here today.
I mean, that's how I feel. That's how I feel.
I should change my name on here. Should change my name to 2K Josh and just really chill out. Everyone would hate me.
We were talking Stone Cold Day. We celebrate it. So, like, for you guys, what was like? Because Stone Cold, I think, is on the short list for everyone. But like when you're, you know, like we talked earlier, that age where Stone Cold's at his peak. I mean, like, I just remember thinking that was the coolest thing ever. Yeah. Like he's kicking ass, he's flipping his boss off, he's drinking beers.
Yep. Just
like
all the stuff that he did. He was just running over cars with monster trucks, filling Vince's Corvette with cement, the beer truck, the milk. Yeah, it's just like everything he did was so good.
And he was able to stay relevant while he had that broken neck.
Oh yeah, he did most of that stuff without wrestling. Yeah.
Crazy good.
Just because, and 3-time Royal Rumble winner, obviously, you know, one of the all-time greats. I would say if I were to ask you, Josh, what is your favorite Stone Cold Steve Austin moment or match, or like, you know, what is the one that sticks out to you the most, I guess?
Well, so when I started watching wrestling, I started in the Invasion. So the first.
Oh, all right.
Well, what I can remember, like when I started consistently watching, I know I watched before, but blah 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 blah.
Is that the one where he roasted Jericho at the pay-per-view?
So well, I just started in that time. I don't really necessarily remember exactly what. I just remember him being the leader of the Alliance. So
yeah, that's what I was
something
say. That's
that I always
time to first
something that I always remember is when there was a certain segment where they were appreciating Stone Cold Steve Austin and Stephanie McMahon sang "You Are the Wings Beneath My Ring," and all of the Alliance sang it was to put it, listen, how do I say this nicely? Stephanie McMahon is very good at her job, but she should stay away.
Yeah. Shouldn't be a singer. Shouldn't try to be.
It had like Stephanie's, like Austin's head was bouncing off the lyrics on the screen. It was like it's probably my favorite segment in wrestling history. I'm not even making that up. Like, it generally is like, it's just insane. But Austin's just standing there like soak it all in. There's this part where Stephanie's singing, and then she goes Raven, and she makes Raven sing, and then like everyone's singing.
I don't remember Raven singing. That's got to be something.
She says Raven, and then he sings, and then it's insane. So I do remember that would be my answer for right now. It's the first thing that I thought of, to be completely honest with everything. So that's my answer. Stone Cold. I think it was Stone Cold Appreciation Night. I think that's what it was.
Mine is the bedpan to McMahon and
that too,
for some reason.
So good.
For some reason, I always default there first because that was just nurse. What can I do for you? Oh shit!
Yeah.
That
I can take it from here.
The noise, the noise,
the bedpan makes it's the perfect noise.
But for me, that segment is the best part of that segment is it's Mr. Sucko.
Yeah,
I love and the
damn
clown
Yerkel.
Yerkel.
Just damn it, leave.
Yerkel the clown.
Yerkel,
I love Yerkel. How you doing, Vinny?
And Vince is like almost crying. He's so upset.
He's so over it.
Like,
That is an all-time segment, really. That's one of those segments in that time that Austin, like, I feel like that lives in like that upper echelon. It's like day in your life with Rocky and Mick, and like those kind of segments that just kind of like the beer bash and stuff like that just lives kind of above wrestling.
Budget
it just
didn't
kind of
mean
lives
anything back then.
No.
It's not. It's just like those segments will tell the. It'll just last forever. Like it's just like a timeless, priceless stuff that you can never really. That stuff I don't feel like they would have sat down and wrote that all out and went, this is exactly where this is the part where I feel like they just probably went like, this is the general idea. Here, just have a camera and hope for the best. And it just. Like, how ridiculous is that? Like, Austin dressed up as a doctor and then attacked his boss.
It's hilarious. It's so good.
Like, who had a broken leg
I
or whatever
enjoyed when Austin made Vince piss himself.
With
the Bang
Austin
316.
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
I just pissed my pants.
Yes. I remember, though, watching the King of the Ring when he won the King of the Ring. And when he cut the promo, like, nobody talked like that before in WWE, on WWF television or WWE television. Like, nobody said ass. Nobody was aggressive. You know, there were bad guys who said, like, you know, the typical.
Nobody blatantly kind of went after, like, religion the way.
And like, you know, he was like, he called Jake Roberts a Bible thumper. You know, everyone knew that Roberts had abuse issues, and he was like, go drink a bottle of Thunderbird or fire, whatever the hell he said, Firebird. You know, and then, you know, obviously the iconic line of, you know, you John 3:16. Well, Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass. And you
he only ever said that once.
Yeah, that's the only time he ever said
that.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
The only time, and you can hear the audience the second he says it. Not everybody, but there is a good section of the audience that immediately is like, yeah, like, you know, like that. You can hear the roar of like,
because you gotta remember, Austin. I don't think. Not that Austin wasn't great or anything like that. Austin was just at the perfect time. Like, if you think of the world of the late night, well, mid to late 90s, like, that was such, like, grunge and, like, anti, like, establishment and, like, rebellion. And, like, you think of, like,
a lot of angst, a lot of, like,
just angry 20-year-olds just ready to just be like, fuck everyone, fuck the system, I'm gonna do this. Like, if you think of all, like, if you look at music in that time, like, Nirvana was hot, and, like, you were getting more rap coming into the game. You were getting just like punk rock, like Blink-182 were on the cusp of things like that were just so like anti everything. They were just like, we hate everyone. Like, I hate the man. You know what I mean? Like, down with the man. That's what, if Austin come in the early 90s, that would not have worked in that time. It would have been like, what the hell is going on? And if it come in way later, again, it would still be just kind of like, sure. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying it wouldn't get over to a certain, but that level, like, Austin is one of those rare talents that he is bigger than wrestling. Like, he's bigger than the WWE entity. Like, we can say what we want about a lot of talent in these days. Like, Sami Zayn, okay? Sami Zayn is fantastic. He's so over, but he's not bigger than the entity of WWE.
Correct. Right.
Like, you take Sami Zayn out of the WWE bubble, and he's just a guy.
He's good.
And that's no disrespect to any of those people. Yeah. Like, oh my God, like, he's so great. But Austin is someone you could take away from WWE. He does not need WWE to succeed.
You can ask a non-wrestling fan if they know who Stone Cold Steve Austin is, and maybe not every single person will know, but a majority. Like, my mother knew who Stone Cold Steve Austin was.
Like, there's like, he's pop culture. Like, if you look at, there's a show called The Good Place. There's a show called The Good Place with Krista Bell. She's like, they're blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter if you don't know the show. But she references Stone Cold Steve Austin a lot. A lot of people go, oh, I know he's the wrestler.
Yeah.
Like, John Cena is bigger than the WWE. Yeah. Hulk Hogan was, you know. He's bigger than the WWE. The Rock is.
The Rock was.
I mean, a lot of people
don't
even.
is known for that now. I think
Rock isn't even. Yeah, he's not even a wrestler anymore. He's a huge movie star. But like, those people they've outgrown WWE, and Austin's at the forefront of that. I think when we talk a lot about Mount Rushmore, and I hate that discussion, it's so overdone, but like, he has to be on that list of, like, when it comes to like known professional wrestlers, transcended the business. I think he's in that group. I think we all know the four, but like, Austin is bigger than that. And I think a lot of It was just at the perfect time to tie this all back around. It's just like the late 90s was Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was just that time of the world. It's not like that anymore because that character wouldn't work as well now because we've gone, rebelling is now playing into the system a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into like wokeness.
And it wouldn't
all
work,
that kind of
like
stuff,
him versus Adam Pearce.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The cool thing to do now is to kind of like, no, I want to help and I want to not be rebellious, but rebellious to a certain degree, but not complete. It's weird a world we live in now. You got to be so careful with what you do. But it was just that time. It was the wild, wild west in the late 90s. Like MTV was hot as all hell in the late 90s, like going into the 2000s. Like we were in reality TV was just starting. If you just think about that, like the early seeds of reality TV was in the beginning, early 2000s and stuff like that. And wrestling was at the forefront of pop culture.
Yeah, for real.
Wrestling was huge. Wrestling was the hottest thing on television. Maybe not the hottest thing on television, but it was one of the hottest things.
Yeah, the ratings they were getting were 5s and 6s.
You don't
know what
do
I mean?
that
Like,
in this. You
that's
don't do that
crazy.
anymore. Wrestling
That's
is never
crazy.
going to get to that height again. Whether we want to admit it or not, wrestling lives in a bubble of wrestling fans. Wrestling fans think wrestling is really cool right now, but it doesn't really translate to people outside of wrestling.
And that's the thing. Like I tell people all the time, like, oh, I'm a wrestling fan. I do wrestling stuff. Like, you mean like Stone Cold Steve Austin and like that?
John
Yeah,
Cena.
he still wrestles, and I'm like, actually, yeah.
I guess
He
so.
did,
to a
yeah, last
certain-
year, to an
But like
extent.
when you think about the Attitude Era and Austin's era,
He got
it's not
offered to
known
wrestle
for
this year.
it's not known for its great wrestling. It's known
Yeah.
for its outlandish wildness of the stuff we think about from the Attitude Era. I can nearly guarantee that 90% of that stuff that we all think about is not stuff that happens inside a wrestling ring.
Yeah.
Well, I can
All
tell
of
you,
those
Right.
Austin moments we were just talking about happened in a fucking hospital.
and that's the thing. Like the Attitude Era gets so romanticized, and it has its moments. But if you watch back some of those like Monday Night Raws, which I have attended,
2-minute matches.
2-minute matches, some of those matches aren't great, but you
Oh,
just
no.
we fell in love with like some of the characters, and they became The Rock, Austin, Triple H. They became bigger than life in a lot of ways, and that's what we remember. So we're like, oh, the Attitude Era was so much better, and it's like,
But in ways, this is okay. This is why I don't watch AEW as much as I do. It's got great wrestling, but like that's all that happens on AEW sometimes. It's just a bunch of matches that are just the same in terms of like there's this certain level of expectation that nothing to me really goes out of that because I'm like I'm so used to just seeing good matches every week on television now, and that happens in WWE as well. That I'm just so like I watch Raw when I get home from work on a Tuesday night because it airs Tuesday morning for me. I'm at work. I fast forward 90% of the matches and I just watch the segments where they're talking. Because that's what I want on television wrestling. I want you to build me to a pay-per-view or whatever you want to call them. And that's where I watch the good wrestling. AEW does it every single week where they're just constantly going great wrestling. And I'm not saying it's a good problem to have when you have too much good wrestling, but like, meh. That's why but the Attitude Era was built on
that's what
segments.
we're talking about. Roundtable Pod. Happy
Yeah, we're
316
talking
to you
316
again.
Hell
Stone
yeah.
Cold right now. But
you
yeah,
missed, you missed me. Poor, I'm soaking. wet.
Yes, Pluggo, he has to be
Mistakes were
soaked and
made.
incredibly uncomfortable right now. Incredibly.
Yeah, I would be like, I'm going to change my shirt. Like,
Yeah,
Well,
he has to
if
be.
you guys want, I've got some clothes right here. I can strip down for the.
ooh.
Yeah, round table. So Pluggo had 2 seltzer waters,
I think there's still some left.
and when we started talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin, he claimed.
This was like,
Oh no!
Oh, Pluggo. Oh my god.
for Roundtable Pod, that's for you, my friend. Oh, that one got me in the nose.
You're insane.
I love Stone Cold Steve Austin. I love professional wrestling. I do it for you guys.
Fair.
Anyway,
Round table saying laugh out loud. I love it. Yeah. So I mean, Stone Cold.
still look good. Still good. Everything's still
That was
working.
right in the height for me. I was like 12, 13 years old when that whole thing started. I was lucky enough to WrestleMania 14, which is the Austin era kicking into
Yep.
gear, happened in Boston, and I was lucky enough to be in the building when that happened too. So that is obviously like a cool personal moment to like, the match with Sean, they both say, not the greatest. Sean was incredibly hurt at that time. But again, like Josh, you were saying the Attitude Era, like a lot of the stuff we remember is we remember. I think the Attitude Era was part of the reason why Vince had the mentality of it's not about the matches, it's about the moments. Because I think the Attitude Era is the section of wrestling where were there good matches? Of course there were. Were there classics and great matches? Of course. But when you think of the Attitude Era, and specifically when you're talking about Austin, you think of the moments. You know what I mean? Like you think of the beer truck, you think of the bedpan, you think of the Bang 316 making Vince pit. You think of all that, the Zamboni. Like all those moments.
Austin getting arrested and
getting arrested and like screaming, and when he stunned Vince the first time at Madison Square Garden.
Oh my God! Round Table, Mike Tyson.
The Mike Tyson stuff is that gave them so much mainstream exposure because Tyson still mattered in a sports landscape back then.
Tyson was huge.
Yes,
I think it's understated today. Just like he had to leave boxing because he got barred, and he was at the peak, and like. Yeah. Oh shit! Like it looked, and the thing was, it's obviously we know it's scripted, but that looked real. Like some of that interaction, like all of Tyson's boys, like that moment, I forgot about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, and
money's flying out of his pocket.
Yeah, money's flying, and Vince is screaming, "You ruined it! You ruined it! Damn it!" Like he's just screaming, like, "Oh, he's like, you ruined this moment. This is the biggest moment of our company. We got Mike Tyson, you piece of shit," And it was just like, and then like that's really. There was just so much good stuff. And I remember Kevin Nash being real funny. He was like, "Oh, we finished Nitro. And, we had our main event was that. And then I flipped over I was like, oh, they got Tyson, huh?" and Nash like looked at Hall or looked at Hogan and was like, "Yeah, we're done here. Yeah, we're done." They got Tyson over there. Oh, man. It was good. It was good. Stone Cold stunned all the McMahons. Linda, Shane, they all got it at one point. But 316 day, one of the best days of the year. And we get to talk about Stone Cold, especially and stuff like that. Oh man. All right.
I'm not gonna waste any more.
I was gonna say, like, how on a scale of 1 to 10, how uncomfortable are you feeling?
I just feel like it's just wet. It's just wet. I'm just wet. It's whatever. It's whatever. I'm good for the people. But no, Waterloo is one of the more pricey sparkling.
Oh, so you just wasted that in this climate?
Yeah.
You probably spent $9 for that can.
I should have went for the low. I have some lower end stuff. I'm not saying it's not like $1 million, but they are the more I got them on sale. I do it for the brand. But yeah, Stone Cold Day rule, Aaliyah Day for Josh. That's going to be fun to celebrate tomorrow.
Yeah, are you doing anything for Aaliyah Day over there? You are in the future. We don't get to celebrate till tomorrow. So.
As you can tell, I'm just going to throw a huge party.
I assumed.
Who would have?
Friday, Friday night, like Aaliyah Day, like.
Sorry, football. I'm not watching you.
That has. I know you're real jacked up about that.
Yeah, that started last night, and it was the opening game was a draw. What the fuck?
Your team did not play in the opening game.
No, we're on Sunday.
Okay, but I can imagine you are pretty.
Hell yeah, I'm jacked the hell up. I go to my first game of the season next week because we.
How many games you going to this year?
I go to all 11 home games.
You go to all of them.
All 11 home games.
Has that been a ritual for a while? Have you already done this?
No. Well, because of COVID and that, it's been
He's a big star now, JPJ. He can go to home.
We're lucky to have him. We're lucky to have him.
I just got off the plane of Sydney last week. No big deal. Although that was the first ever time I've ever been in Sydney in my life. I think JPJ knows that I've never been to Sydney.
Yeah,
but I got to see the Harbour Bridge. I got to see the Sydney Opera
How was that
House.
in real life?
It's beautiful.
It
was beautiful. Sydney's a beautiful place. It's very big.
What was it? I don't know if you talked about this or not. I might have missed it on some of your streams. But how was that whole
I haven't talked about it.
2K?
Yeah, so tell us about
2K experience. Like you actually
tell us about your trip.
Blown out by the game.
Yeah, I got. So we this was all organized in a matter of a few days. I'll talk in the parameters of the stuff that I'm allowed to talk about. But so sorry if anyone asks and I can't answer it. But for the most part, I can. We got flown out by 2K. A bunch of us 2K Next Makers in Australia and New Zealand. Got flown out. Got to meet some cool people. King DJ, people might know him as a streamer that streams a lot of Supercard and WWE stuff. Got to meet him and some other guys. But yeah, we got flown out by 2K to Sydney to play the game early, just to capture some content and just general thoughts on the game. Played a few days early. Got to go to Sydney. I'm not a great flyer, but first time ever in Sydney in my life. If for anyone that doesn't know, I live in Adelaide, it's about a 2-hour flight to Sydney, so it's not huge, but it's they're on the east coast, I'm on the central coast of Australia, so it's a different state, all that kind of bullshit. But that it was a good experience. I've never really experienced anything. The 2K offices in Sydney are beautiful. Literally, their office looks out to the Harbour Bridge. Like everyone knows the Sydney Harbour Bridge, everyone knows the Sydney Opera House, like 2 landmarks of Australia. But they just look out and it's just water and the Opera House and the harbour. It's beautiful. Got to take some pictures. Was only there for overnight, quick trip in and out. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I've never really had opportunities like that before.
Yeah, I was gonna say that must have been awesome. Whenever they reached out and you were like, "Holy shit!" Like
I was like, "What?" And then I didn't
yes,
really
immediately.
Is this real?
So did you have to like? Did it affect your work at all? Like, did you have to? It
just happened to fall on days
on your
where
days
I wasn't
off.
working.
Wow, so that's like fate.
It just happened, and I looked at my schedule, and I was kind of like, "Whoa, I've got like a few days to kind of plan this and do it."
Awesome.
But yeah, they took good care of us. They're lovely people. Shout out to the 2K people in Australia.
Hopefully that's just the beginning of some fun stuff you'll be able to do.
Yeah, hopefully. And I got to play the game a few days early, so I've never really been able to do that. It's like a dream of mine when I started content like 5 years ago to actually do something like this. So if for any content creators out there that thinking they're not getting noticed or they're not getting any opportunities or you're just like not really making an impact, just keep pushing on. I've had many times where I'm like, I'm not doing anything, like nothing, no one's paying attention to me, and people are way bigger than I am, and that is true. But like people do notice, and you do to get opportunities, and like to meet the team at 2K and stuff like the Australia division of 2K was really cool. They're very nice people, and it's weird that they know who of you when you're like what? People actually pay attention to what I'm doing. Like it's so bizarre, but it's cool, and I do a lot of other stuff, and they ask me about Love Wrestling stuff that I do. They knew about the stuff that I do, which is like wild
cool
to
too.
me.
Yeah, that's wild.
So like I hyped up Love Wrestling while I was there as well.
And speaking of Love Wrestling, we have one of our commentators, our good friend Big Bad Boris, the best commentator in all of Canada. And all of maybe the world.
That's right.
He said, "Gentlemen, just recorded the new Punks and Pile Drivers, and it's a good one. So be on the lookout for that."
That
very
show
excited.
rules. We've been
that
on
show
there.
does rule. We've been on there. It's a very, very fun show.
I feel you saying Boris.
Yeah.
It's Audible
And
Chocolate.
Boris,
Audible
if
you're
chocolate.
still listening, will you tell
chocolate.
Rich King and the RADz to back off?
Yeah, you just popped in earlier tonight, Boris. Second week in a row, we were interrupted by a member of the RADz. This time it was Rich King. Josh kind of liked Rich King.
I do.
But Rich King came in here and was giving us some lip. And then Boris says, "Thanks, gentlemen, all the best." And he's going to go edit that sucker. So be on the lookout. It's a fun show. All right. I think, and Josh, I know you said you don't watch it. You're more than welcome to stay if you want, but I think AEW is really the only thing we have left to discuss.
Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna comment on stuff that I haven't watched because that's not fair. So I'll go, but you can talk about AEW. But I will say I watched one thing from AEW. I watched the promo with Saraya and stuff like that.
Okay, so actually, all right. So let's get your opinion on this before you go. You watched that from last night with Tony Storm, Saraya, and Ruby. How are you digging? You know, they got the spray paint, very NWO-ish with the L's and the green spray paint. Ruby Soho just joined them after turning last week or at the pay-per-view. How are you feeling about this group of the outcasts here?
I think it's very like people think it's all this like, oh my god, it's 30. We've seen shit like this so many times in other places before. Yeah. I don't get the whole L on the asshole thing, and then Tony runs in. I don't understand that. Why are they spray painting L's? Is it because they're losers? Is that what they're trying?
Losers, yes.
I don't get that. Just
get the loser,
lose the
ass to the face, you loser type deal.
Because it makes it look like Tony's a loser because she's walking around with an L on her asshole. I don't get it. But lose the spray paint. But I think it's a cool little concept that could could work. It's just there's a lot of opinions I have still on the AEW women's stuff.
That's okay.
I'm still tuning in sometimes here and there, and I'm still only seeing one match. I'm still only seeing one story. Unless I watch their fucking 40 YouTube shows that they have. I'm not going to do that. And I shouldn't have to do that. You're on Dynamite, give them 2 matches. It's not hard. And that goes for Raw as well, because there was only one women's match on Raw this week, and that's not okay. And it wasn't until the 3rd hour of Raw. Suck my ass. Goes both ways. But I think the Outcasts are a cool little concept, and I think they're going to keep... don't make it too big, but I think you can still add some more layers
I think they're going to. The rumor is that it'll be the blood and guts match will be the Outcasts versus the AEW original.
Sure.
So I would expect maybe another member or,
Sure, and they have lots of people that could fill that role. But I will say it was more interesting on the way with Ruby, where she was aligning. I think you could have probably stretched that out a little bit more, but that's just me. I like Saraya. Some people don't. I do actually, I know the sentiment was of that promo, like there was a lot of, Ruby's promo a few days ago or whatever, like people clamored for her to come back, and then within 6 months, they're like, she can't wrestle. She sucks. I hate her. It's like, I didn't hear you saying that about, well, actually, no, people say that about Edge, and people said, so I do get it to a certain degree. They all kind of turn heel at some point. Yep. So that's fine. But I like that kind of stuff. And shout out to Ty Valkyrie.
Oh, very good. That was very cool. Yeah, that was very cool.
But it's just going to be another person that loses to Jade Cargill. Okay, I'm going to go now.
All right. Thanks for hopping in. If you want to actually, promote your stuff, you can. If you want to.
Okay.
Before you get out of here. I know you talked about the Legacy of a little while ago, but
Legacy, I was coming back. If you pretty much go to my Twitter at @JoshRobinson_00, you see it on the screen down here. That's where pretty much you can find most of my stuff. I will warn you, it's football season now until the end of September, so I will be hammering the timeline with football tweets over the weekends because that's what I do. So if you don't get too annoyed with that, follow me on Twitter. You can pretty much find all my links there. Follow me here on Twitch at @JoshRobinson_00. I hang out and play some wrestling games. JPJ is a regular hangouter. We do some stuff. We've got 2K simulations that we do. The first one in 2K23 is a couple weeks away for 2 nights of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So we're doing those over a couple of nights and having some fun with that. Those are like the funnest things that
really
we do.
Are. They're very, JPJ it's always a good time.
It's just batshit insane. So if you like just having a laugh, I'm not here for pro gaming. I'm here just to have a bit of a laugh and just tit around because it's fun. But yeah, go on my YouTube and that. And yeah, just we're in 2K23 mode at the moment. So if you're into wrestling games, like new wrestling games, come and hang out with me and stuff like that. And yeah, my Love Wrestling stuff, of course, is Legacy of. I try to help out as much as I can with Love Wrestling. It is sometimes a little hard being on the other side of the world, but I do my best to help. And yeah, just thanks for all the love in that over the last week because I've gotten a lot of it and it's weird. And but I do appreciate it, even if I don't convey it properly. Sometimes I do appreciate it.
Maybe
I try hard.
Oh my god.
All
right, Josh, we're gonna get you out of here because I think we're getting eliminated. Yeah. Bye. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Let's get these clowns in here. Let's get these clowns in here.
Let us in.
What the?
I'm gonna just cut to the chase here because you guys probably I can't hear a word you're saying. I'm actually wrestling because I'm not suspended from other places. So just want to remind you, I may not be there at LPW 13, but my boy T.Y. Jackson is going to be there. We're going to beat 7. We're going to embarrass Thad. And then in April, when I'm back, I'll embarrass Thad some more. And then at LPW 15, Pluggo, you're fucking mine.
What the?
Bro, did he just challenge you to a match at LPW 15?
He just,
I'm pretty sure.
What is that?
I'm pretty sure that he just challenged you to something, a fight, a match, but he specifically said LPW 15, Pluggo. I'm not going to repeat the expletive, but he said, you're mine.
He cannot count, just like he can't button a shirt. LPW 13 is where we're at.
Wow. Ophelia's saying, I'm not trying to start drama, but are they at Spencer's house? I don't think so. I mean, I think he said he was at a wrestling show.
T.Y. was in his gear. And Ben was at his
Boris earlier said Rich is a bully. That's what bullies do. He said, but he didn't say that. Fry Guy, when he popped in, said, "What's up? Happy 3." So we did talk. We were just talking some Stone Cold with Josh.
I just did the thing, the gimmick. I'm all wet.
Yeah, you missed
Sucking up
it,
to the
Pluggo.
boss.
Yeah.
Who's sucking up to the boss? Not us.
What the
That
hell,
needs to
man?
suck
Where
up to
are
the
these
boss.
dudes? Like,
Get this link, man.
you know,
Listen, they're not getting it for me because they don't like me. I don't know what I did specifically to be on the RADz bad side. I just call the things like I see it. They assume it's me. I'm getting challenged. What is that challenge, Ben Omen? Is that me?
No,
and
that wasn't a challenge. He just said at LPW 15, you're effing mine. That's
Are
what he
we
said.
having LPW 15 in our backyard, or am I gonna have to?
I think if it's a challenge, you might have to be flown out.
Do I need to get a passport?
When would all right? We're in March.
We're in March. That would
we're
be
in 13,
May.
So that would be May. That's my birthday month. I'm Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day weekend. I assume it would be.
Am I flying up to
So
Canada?
we fly up to Edmonton. You beat Ben Omen.
Fry Guy. Listen, I don't know what's going on.
You beat Ben Omen, and then the next night we all watch Double or Nothing together, and then we fly home. Maybe that's.
I don't know why he's stuck
again
on 15.
Because he can't be at 13th. He can't be at 13 because he's suspended.
13. Is he giving me time? Is he getting
14,
time to train?
I don't know, but 14. What did he say about 14? I wasn't listening to him. I don't pay attention to what he says.
I don't know that. I'm getting. I want to know. Okay, listen, Brian,
they're coming after you, man. Like they come on this show. I almost feel insulted. Like they stole my gimmick too.
Yeah,
the sparklers were our gimmick.
But if we trace this back, this was our gimmick.
They've been coming on here and directly, really talking to you, like attacking you.
They think that this is like all me. We're a team. I thought JPJ. We're a group.
I mean, the stuff that we have talked about and the stuff that we have tweeted has been on the Between Two Beards social media. It's not on our own. So, like, I think they're just assuming maybe it's your face. I don't know.
I got my hats all messed up now. What do we got for
He says Ben Omen needs to step foot in a wrestling ring in my home state of Missouri where we have freedom pouring out the faucets. Oh man.
By the way, I went to a gas station. I don't know if it's a national chain on the way home today, and they were promoting Freedom Burgers.
Of course they were.
It was just I was like, what's a Freedom Burger? It's just your run-of-the-mill gas station burger that they just branded Freedom Burger.
Freedom Burgers. You gotta love it.
It wasn't even good.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to talk about Dynamite. I want to talk about the Pillar segment, but I don't understand who's giving these clowns, frankly.
I mean, that's what I said. They said they couldn't hear us, but when they watched this back, I did say, let's let these clowns on here.
We're the rude ones and treat the guests wrong, but I don't crash other people's streams and start running my mouth.
Sure don't.
I don't show up at LPW shows running my mouth. I just don't do it. I don't know what's going on. But anyway,
we don't have a ton of time left.
Hopefully that's the
and
last
again,
of that
well,
today.
we don't have to talk in depth of Dynamite. If you want to hear an in depth,
yes.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to talk about a couple segments, and I want to talk about the LPW takeover that happened at the AEW show last night. I want to talk about that for a few minutes. But if you want more in depth talking about the big day, the big announcement of AEW going to Canada yesterday, plus
Forbidden Door
2, and then 5 straight weeks of AEW going to all different parts of Canada, and then LPW took over the tapings. We had 8 LPW wrestlers, 8 the Ocho on television, and it was capped off by our very own LPW's Nicole Matthews, who challenged Jade Cargill for the TBS Championship live on AEW Dynamite. And she will be challenging Zoe Stark for the LPW Grand Championship at the end of the month. What I say, Zoe Zager. God almighty.
Yeah.
NXT. Jesus
Are you
Christ.
breaking more news? Is Zoe Stark coming out?
No. Wouldn't be as good a match. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, you guys killed it last night.
Taryn from accounting. Sean Moore.
Go.
My God. Nicole Matthews.
Go.
Zoe
Mo
was
Jabari.
there.
Go.
Mo Jabari.
Michael Allen, Richard Clark. Go.
Damn right. State of
Gigi
emergency.
Ray. Go.
Gigi Ray.
Yeah, just a lot of those people we've talked to, we've interviewed, they've been on this program, and they've been kind when they come on this program. They don't just, treat us like crap and then leave.
Unbelievable.
But yes, if you want an in-depth breakdown of all that, plus
it happened. Yeah, last night.
You big money Drew Spencer, Zach popped in. I would have popped in if I could have got Party Animal Owen sleep sooner. Usually he's in bed. He decided to just rage last night till like 10:30.
We had an episode of Firmly AEW right after Dynamite last night, so you can hear an in-depth review of the show. It was one of the better ones that Drew and I did. We really dove deep. It was good. There was a lot of good back and forth discussion.
Do you call it soda or pop?
I call it.
But Fry Guy's saying he hits a habit of calling it soda.
Yeah, I think yeah. I call it soda.
You call it soda?
Yeah, what do you call it?
I'm gonna run to the gas station and grab a pop. I say pop. I'm from the Midwest too, though. So
is Midwest? Yeah, he's from Missouri.
From Missouri. We're not too far off, Fry Guy. I'm from Indiana, and I say pop. But I mean, we do get a lot of soda up here, so it's not. Maybe I'm just weird, but.
So you don't say soda at all. You
but like if I was going, I don't drink a ton of soda or pop to begin with. I drink some, but like if I'm going, hey, you want me to go get you a soda, honey, out of the fridge? I'll say, you want a pop? I say pop.
All right. Last night, Dynamite. We got to talk about the opening segment.
Oh my God.
You loved it, I assume.
I will say this. I thought it was going to be terrible at first.
Really?
At first, when I was like, all right, he's going to do the Bar Mitzvah thing. Is this going to get real cheesy and real, like, is it not going to hit the way I think it's going to hit? And then it did hit. It was good. They did it really well. He killed it. And then the pillars come out, which I was confused at first. Because I was like, all right, Jungle Boy. Okay, Jungle Boy, MJF. And then Sammy, what are you doing? You got a match later. Like, what are you doing out here? And then Darby. And I was like, all right. Let's go. There was a few things I didn't like about the 4 interaction with the pillars. Like when they all just beat the shit out of each other, I thought you were going after MJF. So why did you beat up MJF? That was kind of hokey in my end. But here's what it did for me. The reason I loved it and I thought it was perfect was like, if you've been watching AEW from day one, know at that press conference, those 4 guys were there. They were big signees. They were made a big deal. They've been day one, and they've always been discussed as the pillars. But along the way and throughout the narrative, you sign the CM Punks of the world, the Daniel Bryans, the Miros. You sign these big names. That narrative kind of gets lost. Like, we all, as day one, say these are the 4. These are the 4. But they kind of, fell wayside to bigger other storylines, yada, 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 which is whatever. You sign those people. Those people are all timers. Like, I'm not discrediting that. But what it did for me was you put them all 4 back in the ring, and it was like, oh, shit, now I'm stacking MJF's career up against Sammy's career. I'm thinking about Jungle Boy's arc. I'm thinking about Darby's arc, and I'm going, okay. They do have this legitimate gripe here. They do have this beef.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and you just start thinking to yourself, like, these were the 4. These were the 4 guys that everybody said will be in AEW for the next 20 years, carrying the company because it was the elite, then them. And it's like, oh shit. You kind of forget that. And then they're all there and you're like, oh yeah, let's do this. Like, they should absolutely, without a doubt, that should be your main event of, I don't know if you can get to Double or Nothing telling this story or not. It's a 2.5 months. I don't know how much you could do unless.
Here's the good thing though. Well, all right. So last night we were talking about it, and it was Spencer. Zach was on at the beginning of the show to talk about the Canada tour and stuff like that. But Zach hopped off when we started talking about Dynamite, and Spencer said that he thinks they should have the 4-way right away, like right away. Week? Well, like the first match between any of the 4 of them should be the 4-way. And then that way you
yeah,
can build off the 4-way, and then you can mix and match and have these 4 guys involved with each other. Really, if you got creative enough for like until All Out or even the rest of the year, because you could have the 4-way and say Darby Allin doesn't get pinned. Then that's a match with Darby Allin, and let's just assume MJF retains, right? Let's say MJF cheats to pin Jungle Boy. Then Jungle Boy can say, oh, well, he had a cheat to beat me, and that leads to another match. And then Sammy could say, well, you didn't pin me. Oh, then that leads to another match. And then Darby can say the same thing. And then you can start other feuds where maybe Sammy and Darby go at it for a little bit, and they have a little mini thing. And then it's so you can intertwine these 4 guys.
Round robin it. Or like even you could do something. It's hard to do because this is not MJF's usual go-to, but like you could do something where you say, okay, over the next 3 months, like whoever has the best record gets the shot at MJF. But MJF, you also need to keep wrestling, because if you don't, then it's a 4-way or something. I mean, that's super confusing, but I think you're right. Like you could do something where you could keep this going, but I don't want them to run the risk of keeping it going too long and us going like, oh my God, get to it already. Like that's what we want. I want them to strike while it's like, oh shit, this is a cool ass moment. Because we've seen in wrestling history, like if you wait for the right opportunity, like a Shield match at Mania, they all left. The 4 Horsewomen at Mania, half of them, you know what I mean? Like Sasha Banks is gone, or they're injured, or this, that, and the other. Like
that was part of Spencer's argument as well. He was like, how many years in a row did we hear, oh, they're going to do the 4 Horsewomen match, or they had the Shield triple threat at Mania, and guess what? The shit never happened. So if you have the 4 guys there now, why are you going to drag it out? Just do it so you know you can have this match. So it's there for you, you know?
And that also works. That's also been happening in AEW. Like, oh, we got CM Punk. Look at all these matches he's going to have. And then, of course, he has his bullshit conference and that happens. Or like Cody, like, oh, shit, look at all this shit Cody's going to do. And then he left and it never happened. Like, let's not. Like you're right. Let's strike while the iron's hot. Maybe the finish is a way you could have a rematch of some sort. I don't know. I just thought like this is super cool, and this is something I think has been the haters needed. I think the haters in AEW, the AEW circles, have been like harping on it, but it's like ever since that CM Punk thing happened, you've seen Tony Khan like really start to get back to the grassroots thing where it's like, okay, yeah, we got Daniel Bryan, that's dope as hell, but like he's not all we have. CM Punk kind of overshadowed a lot of people, and he's getting back to grassroots. So here's a great opportunity to go, okay, these were the 4 we were going to build off of.
Yeah,
let's see what y'all got. You know that match is going to absolutely rule. Like all 4 of those competitors are absolutely dope, and it gets me thinking like, all right, if we were going to say MJF is number 1, absolutely. Like right now, his career arc has been the top. Like rank the other 3. I think you would get a different answer from 90% of the people, maybe even more.
Yeah,
because you could make an argument for all 3 of them being like they just haven't gotten that moment.
Yeah,
and here's that moment.
And I liked all the other 3's arguments last night. I liked Jungle Boy saying you were handed this. You know what I mean? Like you were. Jungle Boy, you know, handed the
in a lot of
ways
he was.
I know, and he says
he wasn't, he would have left.
You've never fought on Dark. You've never fought on Elevation. And there's guys and girls back there that are working their asses off here every week, fighting on those shows for a spot to get 60 seconds on this show, and most of them don't. And yet every week we have to come out here and hear you just talk shit and talk your bullshit. Like you were handed the keys. And then Sammy Guevara, okay, I said, in my opinion, Sammy Guevara, that was the Sammy Guevara that got over way back when he was feuding with Cody, winning the TNT championships and becoming the most popular guy in the inner circle, to where he broke away and things like that. That Sammy Guevara that we heard in that promo last night, that was that Sammy Guevara.
Had I not,
it was refreshing to see, because I loved Sam. I loved the whole segment. I thought, to me, Sammy Guevara stood out the most to me.
Had I not known who MJF was from his MLW work, like going into AEW's beginning, like, 'cause I didn't know the other three. I'll be completely honest. I had no idea who Darby, Jungle Boy, and I knew Jungle Boy slightly, but I thought it was like a
I
gimmick
knew
thing.
of Jungle Boy, but
I knew it
never,
was like a
saw him.
gimmick, but I
Yeah.
didn't know it was like how good he was. Sammy was always that guy where I was like, that kid's special. Like, I think he has something that the rest of them don't have. If he could just figure out how not to be an idiot behind the scenes.
And MJF dove in on that stuff too. He said,
yeah,
they all
hit it hard.
And I loved it because they all got personal. MJF saying, "Oh, the next girl you're going to propose to in 7 months," and then Guevara going, "Oh, well, that's funny coming from you. Like, didn't your fiance just leave you?"
You got me,
and that's real. That shit's real.
Bitch.
Yeah, and like that's real. And he said, "Oh, when you're not backstage fighting half the locker room and shit like that, like." And then Darby saying, like, dude, all the people in the back, like, oh, I'm not complaining. I got to know my match and blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, like they dove into real stuff.
I saw
which
some people
liked.
hate that. They said
some people didn't like it. They were like, why are you ruining it? And to each their own. That's fine. If you didn't like it, fine. I happen to like it. I like when wrestling kind of mentions real shit sometimes, because like, yes, it's a fake show. It's fake stories. And like, I understand that it's all scripted. It is an entertainment show, but at the same time, real shit happens behind the scenes sometimes. And we all find out about it through websites and reports and all this stuff. They all know that we know. So you don't have to do it all the time, but sometimes it's okay to talk about real shit.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that at all. So, I loved it. And you want to tell me that we're going to get a fatal four-way with these dudes for the title?
Yeah.
Please. Okay. And then after the fatal four-way, MJF can run through them all individually again as the champion. And fine. Take.
Yeah, you could do that.
That's it. Do the four-way. MJF retains. And then he has a one-on-one, the other two feud while one of them's going after MJF. Rinse and rotate. Take me away for the next 6 months. I'm good with it. This Dynamite, and Drew and I talked about it obviously more at length because we only got a couple minutes here because I do want to talk about. There was a lot we could talk about this whole show. The trios match with Dark Order and Hangman and the BCC was amazing. The main event, which I do want to talk about at least for a quick minute before we get out of here. The ending. First of all, again, Brody fucking King. That guy, incredible.
He's
that guy is incredible.
Absolutely.
Every time I watch him, I'm like, dude, this guy's the best guy. The timing was a little bit off. They had to leave the air too quickly. But
yeah, they sure did.
After the match, when during the end of the trios match, which that triple threat trios match was incredible. The moments with Jericho and Kenny in the crowd and the Winnipeg people just losing their minds. And just the action from those 9 guys was just off the charts, as you would expect. The moment I loved how the BCC and the Dark Order and Hangman were still brawling out back an hour and 20 minutes after their match. I love that. And I love how it spilled out into the arena after the match. House of Black retained into the match. And then it turned into Hangman. That moment where the Elite slid into the ring behind Hangman and Hangman didn't know to kind of protect him from the BCC who were going to 3-on-1 hurt him. Come on, man.
Oh yeah. That's great.
That happened. And I was like, oh my God, it's been so long since they've kind of been you know what I mean? And they teased it. And the time, like I said, the timing was off. We didn't get the full expression and the full reaction from Hangman when he fully turned around because of the timing. But that was a moment, and Will Washington said it on Twitter earlier. That was a moment that I watched that and I was like, damn, I cannot wait to see what happens next week.
Yeah. Are they when's Blood and Guts?
They have not announced it yet.
Okay. It's usually
I don't believe so. I could be wrong, but I don't think they announced it.
Unless they're not doing it, but I know it's soon. But here, call me crazy, but you could, if you get the Elite back together.
If you can get
the ring there,
if you get Danielson back,
yeah.
If you get Danielson back to be the 4th guy in BCC and Hangman aligns with the Elite, that's a blood and guts match there. If you want to do that, I would like the women to get the opportunity to do it.
Do both.
If you can do both, that'd be fine with that. Yeah, you can do both.
Hell yeah. No, it
But,
was
dude,
the
yeah.
crowd was hot. Like the crowd was hot. Canada rules for, by the
Yeah.
way, like
they've been itching for this stuff.
they've been itching for this, and every show that they've had over the last like year, big major show has just been absolutely nuts in terms of crowds and hot angles and stories. I thought the whole thing was great. I enjoyed last night a lot.
Yeah.
Which
All
is
right,
which I could say from the week prior, which I didn't think was a bad episode, but just like
last night was an
night.
incredible episode of Dynamite. Like it was
Hell
very,
yeah.
very good.
Killing it.
If you were here earlier, you saw we had a big announcement. We announced a match for LPW 13. It is Ride or Die, Stephen Crow, and the returning Taryn from Accounting going against Tara Lira, Bharat Gorani, and Sheik Shabazz. Should be a good one. Should be a good one. We're so happy to see our girl Taryn back. You know, all four of these competitors are fantastic, but Taryn's our girl. Taryn's our girl.
Yeah. I've enjoyed Tara Lira. You know, they've got a different edge to them since they got rid of Dr. Kyoto. But I'm excited, man.
There's a full card one in here. That's a minute long.
Full card here.
Can we play that? Are we allowed to play that? I don't want to. I don't
want
to have spoilers on it.
I don't want to do that in case
that's
it
what I
doesn't
know.
have everything.
I know.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I don't want
potential
in the chat saying,
"Oh my God," popping in right at the end. Well, Joe Gertner. Well. The quintessential stud muffin.
God, we've had an episode last week. We had the wordsmith on.
Wordsmith, you were on last week when we were casually interrupted by T.Y. Jackson. Tonight, we had our friend Josh Robinson on the show, and we were not interrupted once. We were interrupted twice. The first time it was Rich King.
Eating a freaking apple. Oh, his mic went out. So while he figures that out, but yeah, Rich King's eating a freaking apple. I cannot hear a word you're saying. You're done. You're cooked. You're cooked. Hold on.
No, I'm good. You can hear me?
Oh, now I can. Did you
All
mute
right,
yourself?
son of a bitch. My mic knew that I was pissed off. So
but yeah, so we had the Rich King eating the apple, then Ben Omens and T.Y. Jackson.
Yeah, we were interrupted twice by them clowns, the RADz.
Called me out for LPW 15, and that is not
Ben Omen. Called Pluggo out. He said, "You know what? I can't be." He said, "I can't be at LPW 13." He said something about LPW 14. He said, "You know what, Pluggo? At LPW 15, quote, you're fucking mine.
Full shoot, no kayfabe, no gimmicks, no nothing. Like I don't know anything. I'm not even. This isn't one of those like I'll be at 15 for real. I don't know where that came from. Like,
bro,
you know,
there we go. Ben versus Pluggo, LPW 15, May 26th.
Is on the 28th. I don't know if I can make it.
Oh, you'll be home in time. You might be in a neck brace, but you'll be home in time. We'll figure it out.
Up to Canada.
No, you can. You can. If it's paid for, you can. If we're getting paid to go to LPW 15 for some reason,
I'll take a cheap rate if somebody can get me. If we want to start the GoFundMe to get Pluggo to LPW 15, like I'm there.
Bro, if you're going to LPW 15, I better be there.
Then let's get it. Between two beards, will everybody donate or tell Spencer?
I'm 100% going to hit Ben Omen over the back with a chair. That's what I'm going to do. I'm calling it right now.
Good.
If that match happens, I will be at ringside with a chair. And if any of the RADz boys, they'll kill me. It's fine. I know this. I am in no physical shape to be involved with any of those gentlemen. But I don't give a shit.
Remember when
I'll be sitting there with a chair. And if anybody wants to come get some of Pluggo, your boy's going to be swinging. I'll go down quick, but I'm going to be going down swinging.
I appreciate the loyalty there. I love it. I would say this. I'll look like Paul Heyman trying to hit like Kevin Owens.
God.
Just taking a stunner.
We're not gonna have these guys showing up here threatening us.
This is ridiculous.
This whole thing started because you guys were unoriginal.
Yeah.
And you guys couldn't think of your own gimmick, so you took our sparklers. That's how this started. And now you're being bullies.
Just straight bullies.
You're being bullies. Now, granted, when you popped in here, you've been kind of nice to me. So if you want to continue to be nice to me, that's fine. But you're being bullies. But I'll let you know that if you're trying to threaten him, I am swinging chairs. That's all I know.
I'll say this. Speaking of swinging chairs, I might be flipping a desk tomorrow at our weekly meeting with Spencer over our budget blowing antics, because I am just, somebody needs to get to the bottom of why this link getting leaked out.
Not
How
cool.
does that happen? This is
Not
a clear
cool.
room. Is it a StreamYard
Anyway,
thing? I don't know.
We've gone overtime. Pluggo, plug where the people can find you, can find us. Do your thing.
Well, you can find me at Pluggo on _ on Twitter, at Pluggo on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that fun stuff. You'll see this face popping up. You can find the show page at B2Beards on all social medias. It's just B2Beards, made it real simple across all of them. Stay tuned. Stick to the page. There's a lot of good stuff coming up here at Love Wrestling. At Love Wrestling,
we have a functional website now. You can go to our website.
I think you'll start seeing a little bit more writing from the boys over here.
Yeah, I think we're going to be doing some writing. You can go over to our YouTube, check out some Nicole Matthews hosts slew of her matches over there. You can find this show usually within 24, 48 hours after it airs here, over there.
And honestly, if you want to do us a solid, just go over to YouTube right now and put the show on. Help us get our watch hours up. We're almost to our goal of monetization.
Yeah, yeah. You can find.
You tell them.
I was going to say, you can find me at JPJ Loves Gaming on the Twitter machine and over on the Twitch. The Twitch is getting fun. MLB The Show comes out next week, guys. Yeah. And that's the game, although we are going to be playing some WWE 2K because that shit is fun as hell. And then we have a golf game coming out. There's some good stuff going over there. We just have a good time. We shoot the shit. We listen to some tunes. We play some games. So go give me some love over at JPJ Loves Gaming here, technically, on Twitch. And then over, if you search for that on the Twitter machine, I should show up. So give us some love over there. Next week, the 95th installment of the getting close. Yeah, hopefully.
God,
who the fuck's going to show up on that show and threaten to beat us up?
They're out of dudes, I think.
No, they have Larry. We haven't seen Larry yet. We haven't seen Mitch
Larry
yet.
Even know how to work social media? And
he's been I've interviewed him. I've interviewed him on the LPW show.
I know Mitch is injured, so I'm giving him a pass.
I agree. Mitch has been on the show, though. I think he's a friend of the show. Even though the rest of his buddies are messing with us. But anyway,
clown show.
We'll be here next week, 8 p.m., same time, same channel. Thank you, Josh Robinson, for hopping in and spending most of the show with us. No thank you to Ben Oman, T.Y. Jackson, and Rich King for interrupting us once again. There will be justice. There will be justice. The fucking flagship.
That's right. We run a flagship here, top of the food chain.
I got to get all the swears out now before we get monetized on YouTube because I won't be able to swear once we're on YouTube.
You can now. It's a little lax now.
Is it a little lax?
Yeah, it's gotten lax.
For the second week in the row, RADz, piss off.
Get yourself help and your progress. I'm only taking 12 steps towards the door.